Ye My music still playing? Yo, 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 what is up? What's going on today? How's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning in to another DnL&x Fitness live stream show. Let's go. Get my volume up. Hold on. I think I forgot to turn on. Wait a minute. Did you? Nope. There it is. Now we got it fixed. Now let's try that one more time. Here we go. Where we at? There we go. There we go. All right, y'all calm down. What's going on, man? How's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning in to another DnL&x Fitness live stream show that we got going on for you today. Today is Thursday. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're having a good week so far. If your week ain't been good, well, hell, make it better and let Mr. Chow talk to you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
As long as you did not become unalive and you are still here and still great and able to make great things happen, so don't complain, just make it better. Let's go. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not easy. Wait, let me get that band off my screen while that's up there. It's not going to be easy, but somebody got to do it, man. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Just know that we are simultaneously streaming on multi-platforms. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Yes, sir. And on YouTube, if you want to do me a favor, you're going to see that thumbs up button hit your screen. And once it does, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button on YouTube to get the algorithm out. It is greatly appreciated. We are wanting to get this message out to the masses, the most people that we can. It'll be greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to contribute to today's show, there's a Cash App and a Venmo right there. Cash App is going to be Daniel2888. Venmo is Danny-Daniel-00. And we got a good show lined up for you today. As you know, it was a hell of a day yesterday. In case you didn't know, there was a hell of a day yesterday. Or was it the day before? I think it was the day before yesterday. Whatever day it was a hell of a voting election day that went down. That the Democrats got a clean sweep over 3 states that they went through. So they out there doing their thing. So we're gonna have to see how this war is gonna be pressing forward. But we do got our 3 topics that we got to talk about. Fitness, for sure. The first one, that's when we're gonna talk about first. Fitness, we got to learn about the human body. First and foremost, we do got to learn about the human body. I do have to teach you about thyself. You got to know thyself. You got to know what thyself is all about. So we're going to learn some of that today. We're going to figure out what part of the body that we're going to go over. So we're going to learn that because, yes, you need to know about your body because nobody else is going to teach it. Plus, a lot of you fools don't like to read. So I'm going to have to read some stuff to you since all you like to do is click YouTube stuff and have stuff read to you and watch videos. So if you need education, I'm going to educate you about your body. Then for the economy segment of the show, yes, we're going to talk about the voting. We're going to talk about the votes that clean sweep, and we're going to look into Mr. Zohan himself, or is it Zoran? I like to call him Zohan, like Don't Mess with the Zohan, the Adam Sandler movie. Yeah, Mr. Zohan himself, the Democratic Socialist in the building who was voted in heavily by yours truly, Gen Z. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we can all see, times have changed and you cannot complain. You just gotta roll with the punches and know how this is gonna go. You can't complain. You just better make some adjustments and live your life accordingly. And better yet, you better look deep inside yourself and figure out how to make those adjustments. So yes, we're going to go into the stats, the statistics. We're going to watch a bunch of videos to see some of his past speeches. You know, we're going to see the current speech. We're going to see the demographics of the voting breakdown. And we're going to look at a lot of stuff, especially pertaining to said situation and see exactly how this works. Because he basically is what is he? Is he the mayor? I think he's the mayor for New York now, I believe, a Democratic Socialist for the mayor for New York, if I'm not mistaken. And he came in, won that victory by overwhelmingly, you know, Gen Z came up and showed out to vote, predominantly the women. But hell, I mean, if you really look at the votes in New York, which New York is a blue state, so it kind of actually makes sense how it went that way. However, New York, hell, and they got California too. New York is a vital hub when it comes to finances in these United States. Yes, that is true. So, with that being said, they coming in and they doing their thing, and we're gonna look at some of the stuff that he said about how he's gonna operate, and it's gonna be it's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to see because you need to understand how this is gonna go, how this is gonna play out. It's going to be very interesting. We have a lot to cover for that topic. And then last but not least, we're going to go in the AI segment of the show, which won't be too long, but we're going to look at troll farms, which can go ahead and tie into the economy as well. We're going to look at troll farms, internet research facilities, I believe is what they call them. But we're going to look at troll farms to see how they actually dominate the internet. And then we're going to see how troll farms can actually be enhanced exponentially via AI. Yeah, buddy, you finna learn something today. Edumacation is gonna be on the rise today. You gonna learn today. I'm gonna tell you gonna learn. It's gonna be a lot that we go over, and man, oh man, it is gonna be a lot to cover, and I cannot wait to get this shit started. So let's go and stop wasting time and get this show on the road. But of course, we got to get our snow bunnies out here to introduce us to the fitness segment of the show. Ladies.
Let's get ready for the fitness segment of the show.
They had that music in the background. I don't know what that was, but they was working with it. You know what I'm saying? We had Australia, we had Switzerland, we had Sweden up in there. Yeah. Or we had Norway, Australia, and Denmark up in there, whatever you want to call it. Just 3 snow bunnies across the board, just straight up just snowing. You know what I mean? That's about as nasty as it gets. If you know, you know. All right, so for this segment of the show, we're going to dive into the fitness part right here. And the muscle that we are going to be paying attention to is going to be none other than the pectoralis major. Yes, it is. The pectoralis major. Yeah, boy, that muscle right here. Let me make sure I got this right. Let's get there. There we go. We got that right there. Who we got here? Liberty Twitcher. Liberty Twitcher, what's going on? Thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate you. Good looking out. Oh, change that banner because I got the wrong banner up. Where's the fitness banner? Bam. All right, so we're learning about the pectoralis major today. Gonna learn about this first, then we're gonna dive into the next 2 segments of the show. But I gotta teach you about your body because a lot of times you don't know your body. So I'm gonna read it to you so you know. All right, so here we go. First things first, pectoralis major. All right, let me see if I can find. Hold on, before we even get this thing started, let me make sure I can find what I'm supposed to be reading to you because I think I lost it. Where did it go? I had it over here somewhere and then it just got lost in the sauce. Where is it? No, that's not it. Get that out of here. Is this it? Nope. Is that it? There it is. I found it. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to it. Nothing to it but to do it. There we go. And then we're going to up. You're seeing too much. Okay, there we go. All right. So now that we got that, let's go ahead and give you a rundown on this body part called the pectoralis major. All right, here we go. So pectoralis major, it is the pectoral major, is a large fan-shaped muscle on the anterior front chest wall. There is. Yes, there is. And make sure you can see it because it doesn't look like you can see it from my side, but I might just be tripping. Where's my thing? There it is. Yes, you can see it. The origins is it erases from multiple places. So the origin is the clavicular head, the anterior surface of the medial half of the clavicle, and then the sternocostal head, the anterior surface of the sternum, costal cartilage of the ribs, and typically 1 through 6 of the ribs, and part of the aponeurosis of the external oblique muscle. Okay. And then for the insertion, its fibers converge and insert on the lateral lip of the intertubercle bicipital groove of the humerus, upper arm bone. The upper arm bone. So right up in G is what they're talking about. That's the insertion. Okay. It's the insertion right here. So you have to understand that. See, they got the crest of the greater tubercle, but you know, we're talking about 2 different things, but the same thing at the same time. The head parts commonly divided into the clavicular head and the sternocostal head. Some sources add an abdominal portion, but not all. The innervation is the clavicular head, primarily by the lateral pectoral nerves, which is C5 and 6. And then the sternocostal head, which is primarily by the medial pectoral nerve, C7 through T1 roots. Blood supply via the pectoral branch of the thoracochromal trunk and intercostal perforators. All right, yeah, some big words. The function of this, well, let's not let them mess it up real quick because we still got to go over this. Let's keep going. Let me fix that real quick so you can see it. The functions of this, of the pectoralis major, are going to be adduction of the humerus, bringing the arm toward the body. This is abduction, AB, and this is adduction, ADD. We're talking about ADDuction. Medial, internal rotation of the humerus, and then also flexion of the humerus, especially the clavicular head when the arm is extended. The extension of the humerus from a flexed position, mainly via the sternocostal head. And then it also plays a role when the humerus is fixed. It can help elevate the thorax, assist in force inspiration. All right, so keep that in mind. And then let's see what we have here. Because it lies superficially on the anterior chest wall, in females, it lies underneath the breast tissue. It forms part of the interior wall of the axilla, which is the armpit region, and also variations exist. For example, some fibers may be absent. Some people may have an accessory muscle like the sternalis associated with it. Appreciate you, Psalm. I'm just gonna call you Psalm, or should I call you Maynard? Psalm Maynard. Appreciate the follow. Good looking out. And training. If you want to work this muscle, because it has multiple heads on it, if you want to work this muscle, then what you're going to do is you're going to basically, let's see, because of its multiple heads and directions of fiber, different exercises emphasize different parts of this muscle. So clavicular versus sternocostal, for example, incline bench press may focus on more of the clavicular head. Flat or decline presses may engage more of the sternocostal head. General exercise science. Given its involvement in pushing and horizontal adduction movements, it's a major muscle in bench press, push-ups, and other chest exercises. So yes, keep that in mind. This is the pecs. This is the pecs right here. This is what you get. So, you're doing bench press, you want a big chest, do incline, decline bench press, regular bench press, or do the one, I don't know what it's called. I have to show you the workout. Or use dumbbell incline bench press. Dumbbells help for some reason a lot more than a bar because it requires stability. The bar almost keeps you stable because you got one clean bar across the top. Samar, this is LIVESTREAM Vibes. Just followed you. I will be joining next stream with friends. Add me on Discord. All right, I got you. Or actually come over to my Discord. I got you. Come on over to my Discord. You'll see it inside of the what is it called? My link tree. Go on my link tree, my profile, and you shall find it and just hop on to my Discord. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so that's going to be it for the pectoralis major muscle. So we're going to dive in and look at a few more things pertaining to this muscle because it's very important. And I got to find out, where is that? There it is. Okay, that's what I got that from. All right. And to excuse me, give you a different look on it. Let's see if I can slide this on the screen. Let me see. Can I put this on the screen? Where are we at? Right here. We'll put this right here in the front. No, we won't. We'll put this right here. There we go. And let's see how it looks when I show it to you. Bam. That looks good enough. I'll take it. All right, here. So your pectoralis, muscle. This may look a little off because this is AI, but you kind of get the idea of what it looks like. This looks like a chick. Like some big old boobies is what it looks like. But this right here is going to be that muscle right there, okay? Now what we're going to do is next is we're going to look at people actually utilizing this muscle and doing exercising said muscles. So we got to make sure that we get the muscles exercised and worked out at all times, all right? So let's see what we got here. Where are we going to go to first? Where are we at? Ladies, where you at? Got to find the ladies because that's who we're going to use. Because ladies want to be seen and they want us to look at them and they want attention. So by all means, we're going to give them attention. So first off, let's see what we got. We got number 1. We got number 2. We got a number 3 who's talking, but I'm not too fond of a woman talking. It's not very fun when they talk, but I guess we'll put up with a little bit of talking today because, sometimes you gotta let them talk. So if we have to, we will. All right. So let's see. Let me make sure I think I got all of them set up right here. We're going to do, I got to find one more. I'm going to get one more for us. Let me see. Where's the last one? I had her up here earlier. If I hit the back button, she'll probably pop up. Where did you go, Chickie? Where'd she go? Nah, she disappeared on me. She ran away. Up. Let's not do that. All right, so cool. So what we have here is we're going to show ladies exercising their pec muscles. So to start off with, we're going to go with this one right here. Here's the first one that we have. Her is going, she, her, she. She's going to be working out that muscle region right there as we see. So she's working out the pectoralis muscles, as you can see. We're all in right there. Wait, where are you going? Oh, what is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, this is what I was talking about right here. This is the machine I was actually referring to, and she actually came through with it. Shout out to her. So that's another one if you want to build your chest muscles up. Now, this is the same thing as she was doing earlier with the dumbbells. You know what I mean? Dumbbell flies, basically. She was doing it earlier, the same thing. But I don't know if this is going to work your pec muscles out like she's supposed to be doing. Come on, work the chest. There we go. Point to the chi-chis. There we go. See, using dumbbells creates stabilization with the dumbbell as opposed to a bar where it keeps it stable. You know, so using that to build up that chest. And these are dumbbell flies with the dumbbell. So she's got that going on. You can see it working right when she opens up right there. You can see it right in that region right there. And this one works. This one is really good. This one is really good because it is isolated. So you can do one at a time. They're isolated kind of like dumbbells. So these work really good for the chest muscles for sure. And these do too, but I would rather do these in a dumbbell version, but do both if you can. But for sure, I would do those. And these work pretty good too. I can't even knock those. Those are pretty good too. So shout out to her. The next lady we got up here is going to be this one. I mean, god dang. She has a man chest for real. Sheesh. Good Lord. All right. She has exercised her boobies away. She got pecs. She don't have breasts. She got pecs. Straight up pec muscles. She ain't got no more breasts. I don't even know why she got this thing on. You would just think it's like nipples like a dude. Or is it a dude? I don't think it's a dude. I just think it's a swole lady. But I mean, she got the cut right down the middle of the chest and everything. I mean, for a woman, for me, it's a little bit too much. But hey, shout out to her for doing her thing. You know, she probably had A cups to begin with, and she was like, "Screw it, I ain't getting implants. We might as well just turn them into what they gonna turn into." So, more power to her. But there we go with some more flies, and her doing the flies, you can see the difference. It's actually a good thing. So we can see it with her a hell of a lot better. You can actually look at her chest and see what's being worked. You can see it. The more she works it, you can see the cut get defined and what muscles being worked out. So it actually works better looking at her doing these workouts. As you can see them. See it right there? Look, right here. When she moves, you can see the muscle going off. So this actually works in a benefit. This one, I don't know about that one. That one, yeah, that's a good one. You can see it. You can see the muscle being worked for sure. So shout out to her. This is actually a good visual. You know what I mean? So she is actually showing you what muscles or what workouts actually activate the muscles. And here's like almost like a standing bench press type scenario right here, as you can see. So shout out to her. Yeah, shout out to her for sure. All right, now let's go on to something next. We have the talker. All right, so we're gonna let the talker ramble for a minute. Let me get her set up real quick. Let me make sure, because for some reason I can't find a restart button on this one, which is kind of annoying. But we're gonna go ahead and here we go. I found her. She's gonna talk. I don't know for how long, but here we go. What you gonna say?
No, not like that. Let's talk about the only two movements you need to train your chest. For the first movement, a flat press of any kind, barbell, dumbbell, cable. Let's talk about my chest. No, not like that. Let's talk about the only two movements you need to train your chest. For the first movement, a flat press of any kind, barbell, dumbbell, cable, or machine. Now, personally, I prefer a traditional flat barbell bench press, not because it's optimal, but because I like it. As for the second movement, an incline press of any kind. Now, personally, I prefer incline dumbbell, not because it's optimal, but because I like it. Now, you can optionally throw in a chest fly, but it is not necessary. And to be frank, I hate chest flies. Now, on my viral back workout video, I got a couple comments like this, talking about how your back, specifically your latissimus dorsi, is a lot like your chest muscle or your pectoralis major. So why did I recommend only one movement for your latissimus dorsi but two movements for your pectoralis major? Well, you see, your chest muscle or your pectoralis major is the only muscle you'll ever catch me biasing a specific part of. Why? First, you must understand muscle action. Your chest muscle or pectoralis major is involved in various pressing movements, while your back muscle or latissimus dorsi is involved in various pulling movements. Now, both your back muscle or your lat and your chest muscle or your pec are both converging muscles, meaning the muscle has multiple origin points with muscle fibers that run in different directions, eventually converging into a single insertion. However, despite muscle fibers running in different directions, if I were to illustrate how a muscle would have to activate in order to perform a specific movement,
Okay, I mean, I just can't take it anymore. She's just talking a whole lot. I just educated everybody on that, so that's one of the reasons why I say you don't like to hear women talk. All right, so we got this lady here. She's doing chest workout exercises. She has on flip flops in the gym. Good Lord, I tell you, I'm very, very, very anal about people who wear particular type of shoes in the gym. Crocs, flip-flops, I just don't take you seriously. But anyway, so as we can see, she's doing her chest workout muscles. How much weight is she even doing? Are these pounds or kilos? I think these might be pounds. I don't know. They don't look like it. Let me see real quick. Let's find out. Bam, those are 10s. Man, you can do more than 10s. You ain't even getting no workout with them 10s. You ain't getting no workout with that. Come on, put some more weight on there. All we doing is seeing how big your chest is. But nonetheless, it's still a good visual. So we're gonna enjoy the visual, although we're not seeing no muscles getting worked out. You know, we don't need all that muscular. You know what I'm saying? We like a tight body, you know what I mean? But not like a muscular tight body. That's not the kind of tight we're looking for. You know, like a nice tight petite frame, you know what I mean? And not all soggy, but you know, sometimes soggy is okay, just depends. Next we got, okay, here we go. We got one with the chest muscles all over the place. So she's doing standing cable flies. Oh, she's about that business. Look at her, bam, bam, boom, boom, bow, bow. All right, and we got low cable chest rate. These are good too. These are for sure legit too. So shout out to her for doing these. You see, these really get the work. And oh, she's doing alternating. All right. Okay, she about that action. 45s. That's what I'm talking about. She might be on that juice though, but that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. You got 35s going over the head. Okay, she not playing around. Well, she say, I am twang. I am big and twang. Yeah, I'm a twang woman. I twang. All right. You can see her chest muscles working. Look at this. Yeah, you can see those things working. So therefore, she has a good amount of weight. You know what I mean? She in that pump. Look like these are different days though, because she keep changing outfits. I don't know how long this video took to make. This is like multiple days. This is crazy. Well, it is multiple days because she's telling us Monday, chest day. So we got incline flies. All right. So we got that. And what else we got? All right, we're back to the beginning. So shout out to her. She did her thing. Yes, sir. She did her thing. What we got here next? Oh, well, we ain't got nothing here next. I thought we had one more, but I screwed up on that one. We'll get one more. We got to get one visually super appealing. You know what I mean? Like a grand finale or something. Let me find a grand finale real quick. What a grand finale at? All right, she's on juice. All right, what we got next? All right, we got a Ling Ling showing out over here. But that's not chest muscles. That's back. We going for chest muscles. Let's see what we got here. We got chest muscles. Let's see what we got here. This lady look like she got chest muscles. Jesus. I mean, yeah, this will be a fun visual, I might add. Yeah, this will be a fun visual for sure. All right, we'll come back to you just in case. Just in case. I don't want to take too much time though, because too much time is gonna waste time. All right, any more time? All right. And checking a few more times to make sure I don't miss nothing, because I want to make sure that we hit a good grand finale. All right, you know what? We'll do 2 grand finales. We'll do 2, and it won't take me long. I got the first one already. I just got to find it and click it. Where did she go? Where'd you go? There you go. Okay, so there's the first.
I'm talking about like.
There, shut up. There's the first grand finale, and then we're gonna do the second grand finale. I already know who the second grand finale gonna be. This one might not even be fair, but we're gonna do it anyway. So let's see. Second grand finale. Where is she at? There you are. All right, don't talk. All right, because nobody likes to hear a woman talking. That is not fun at all. It's not fun. I mean, I know it may sound like it, but it's just not. It's not fun. There's nothing interesting about that whatsoever. All right, what we got here? All right, so do we have any upper bodies from this lady? Like she does all lower body workouts, which is ridiculous. I mean, well, it looks good, but today we're doing chest day. So does she have any upper body workouts? I don't think she works on her front. I think she just works on her legs and her back, which for women, they can get away with that for sure. They could skip any front workouts. They could just be like, all right, we ain't doing no shoulders, no chest, and no arms. All we doing is back, stomach, and legs. Legs 3 times, back once, and what I say, stomach once. All right, let's see. I don't see anything that this one has. Nah, she don't got no upper body workouts whatsoever. She does all lower body. And it works. It works. All right. You're wasting my time. You're wasting my time because we got a show to run. We got stuff we got to look at. All right. Yep. Well, we just might put her on her anyway, just for the visual appealing. Yep. You have made it to the show. I'm going to go ahead and put you on here. Oh, wait. We'll use this one. Okay. This one might be, we might get away with just saying that this is that a upper body exercise? I don't know. What do we call that? Screw it. She wins. We gonna take it. All right, cool. So for the grand finales, we got 2. We got a nice chocolatey sister here. She gonna go first. All right. Nice chocolate with the afro. We got the side boob sticking out. She know what she doing. We coming. Come on with it. What you got? Oh, side booby sticking out. All right. I don't know if this is for shoulders. It's for show. Yeah, she got them. She got them trappies. She got them trappies. Oh yeah, she got them trappies for sure. Yeah, but hey, you see this head of hair? This all natural. We here for it. We here for that all natural, baby. We are here for that all natural. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, boy. All right. She doing shoulders. We supposed to be doing chest workouts. Maybe I should find you on a chest workout day. All right, so there's that one. Let's see. I should have found her. I really should have found her on the chest day. That would have been really good. Yeah, well, we missed her on the chest day. But why she always oiled up on all her videos? She like super oiled up, like seriously. I mean, I don't mind a little glistening, but on all of them, you shiny as hell. It's not even fair. All right, oh my goodness. All right, and then last but not least is the last visual right here. Bam. We got this one right here. All righty. So we're going in. She's going for the squat curl. All righty. That's what I'm talking about. So I guess we can count this as a chest workout. She's got the little itty bitty A cup committee. So shout out to her. She's going in. All right. These will be good for biceps and somewhat chest workouts, but good for the visual aspect of things. Yes, we see you. We are here for you. We are here with you. She got that little youthful look in her face. Shout out to her. Looking all nice and youthful. All right. Okay. Oh, we're doing legs too. Oh, we're doubling. We're doing the full body. All right. We got a simp over here saying, goddess, go. No. It's just a woman working out. That's all that is, buddy. Calm down. All right. All right. Okay. I'm going to just do this over and over, huh? All righty. Like I said, she does lower body more than she does upper body. But shout out to her. Can we do any more chest workouts? Nope. Just gonna go for 20, huh? Yeah. All right. Well, shout out to her on that one. Any more? Is that all we got? Is that it? Are we still going? Yeah. More legs. Okay. All right. She's all about the legs. So shout out to her. She almost fell. She almost fell. But shout out to the ladies for showing us what chesticles look like. So yes, make sure that you get the gym, you work out your chest muscles. When you do, you understand what workouts to do. I would always say dumbbells or isolated chest workouts are always going to be better because the stabilization is going to help you engage your chest muscles a hell of a lot better. So please keep that in mind. And also, of course, good diet, hit the macros, make sure you eat enough calories and try to stay away from sugary drinks and all that good stuff. And too much carbs, so that turns into sugar and fat afterwards if you don't burn it off, if you don't utilize it in your workout. So just keep that in mind, okay? So yeah, with that being said, just know to get your workout in. Don't walk around here bird chested. Don't walk around here looking like a woman with A cups. You know, you gotta go out there and actually make something happen and get yourself right, get in the gym and get good and look right and all that good stuff. And feel good about yourself. Don't do it for the ladies. Do it for yourself. That's the main and most important thing first and foremost. Don't do it for nobody else. Just do it for you. You know what I mean? If they don't like it, well, screw them. You know what I mean? If somebody don't like what you're doing and you're doing this to better yourself, you can always look them in the face and be like, hey, man, check this out.
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers,
And keep doing what you're doing, bettering yourself, because that's all it's about. Get better, all right? Get better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get better. All right, so let's see here. What do we got? We got. I'm gonna get this down off the screen for a second. All right. I'm gonna get this off the screen. Gonna have to make us some space. Oh, yes. We got to get to the economy segment of the show. Let's go ahead and change that banner and get started. So before we do, we got to get our sexy lady up in here to give us introduction. So here we go.
Welcome to the economy segment of the show. Enjoy.
Oh, yes, sweetheart. We enjoy. And I missed the button. There it is. Yes, sir. We are in the economy segment of the show, and before you know it, I must change this banner. And just to let you know that we are on day 36 or 37 of the government shutdown, I believe so. We are shut down like a mofo, and it is not looking too shabby at all. No, it's not healthy to have a good government shutdown because it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse as time goes on. It's not looking too dang good at all. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and pull up on the screen to show the time limit. They still got this on here, right? And I would say that since there's a government shutdown going on, it would probably help like hell for the decisions that have been going on as far as voting goes. I mean, I'm pretty sure that people weren't going to vote are going to vote one way anyway. However, with people being hurt by a government shutdown, when you start hurting people's pockets, you start hurting people's money, people gonna switch. They gonna switch and they not gonna, do what they like, look, my money ain't right, so this ain't right. And that's just basically how it go. I gotta worry about my kids eating, something ain't right. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at right now. We're on day 36, maybe 37. So technically speaking, we are in the longest shutdown in history of government shutdowns. Yes, we are. We are officially, every day that keeps going, we are setting a new record for the longest day of government shutdown history, or we are making the new record because we already passed the record. Now we are creating the new record for the longest shutdown in government history. Now, while the government is being shut down, we have had a slew of things happen. A lot of people have passed away lately. If you don't know, a lot of people have passed away, and I'm gonna go down a random list of people who have passed away. We have to do this real quick because I've been meaning to cover these people when it happens, but I didn't. So let's go ahead and just go down a list of people real quick. So first, we're gonna start off with this one, even though this has nothing to do with particular topic, but we have to go over these. So first one. D'Angelo, if you don't know who he is, D'Angelo Soul, modern visionary, died at 51 years old back on October 14th of 2025. So I forgot to honor him whenever he passed away. So let's go ahead and, condolence to him and RIP to him. And then also recently, we also had another individual pass away. And this individual, let's see. Where he at? I forget his name, but I know who he is. Here he is. Another one passed away, age 48. I thought he was in his 50s. Is he really 48? Yeah, he's 48. Dang, that's a young age. Another person, a bass player from the band Limp Bizkit, Sam Rivers, has passed away as well. Is it Sam Rivers? Yes. We lost our bandmate. What is your name? It is Sam Rivers. Yes, I was correct. Sam Rivers passed away at age 48 on October 18th, 2025. So just a couple weeks ago, I had to honor. I kind of forgot about it. I didn't forget. I seen it. I just never put it on the show. Let's see. Politicians. Recently, let's see what we got. And this individual right here we have as well. Matter of fact, we'll watch it. Well, I could go on a video, but we're not going to watch a video. But this individual here, if you don't know who this man is, I'll let you know. Mr. Dick Cheney himself, he passed away as well. This gentleman here, vice president, was a key architect for the war on terror in Iraq back in the old President Bush days. He passed away. When did he pass away? Was it November 4th or 3rd? He recently passed away. He just passed away. This is a picture of him in 2018, but he just passed away a few days ago. So RIP to Dick Cheney. He's another one that's gone as well. So we've been losing a lot of people lately. And there was another one that passed away too, but I forget who it was. But yeah, that's what we have right now so far. I'll try not to forget anybody on the show whenever we have people pass away. But we're also going to get into this right here. So what we have right here is Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz makes a shocking prediction about the government shutdown. Since we are in the record-breaking government shutdown history, we're going to let this man talk about what he predicts what the government shutdown is going to be. And remember, this was prior to the, I believe this was prior to Mandami winning the vote. I believe this was prior to him winning the vote, I believe, and this was probably 3 or 4 days ago. So when you hear him talk, you're going to kind of realize, what he's saying is a few days old. But let's hear what he has to say about the government shutdown and see if what he says has any weight. So let's go ahead and pull this man up. Oh, and let me change the banner because I got the fitness up there. There we go, the economy. So here we go. Ted Cruz is finna take it away. Let's go.
Dick Cheney sadly passed away at the age of 84. We got this news about 90 minutes ago. His role in shaping America's national security, making the country a safer place, particularly when preventing terror attacks after 9/11, with the creation of the Department of Homeland Security. Senator Ted Cruz joins us now. Senator,
action to some of the shutdown news. Now, Punchbowl has some reporting out this morning claiming that the bipartisan group is getting back together and they're close to a deal. Now, significant because many people thought that they used this shutdown to drive turnout. And it looks like after the election, they plan on finally getting the government back open. What can you tell us?
Lawrence, I think that's right. We're in day 34 of the Schumer shutdown. There are real consequences, real harms people are suffering across the country. But the Democrats cynically decided they want to impose those harms because they want to demonstrate to their radical left-wing base that they hate Donald Trump as much as the radicals do. This is all about saving Schumer's political behind and trying to ward off a primary from AOC. But this shutdown will end. We're in day 34. My prediction, it will end either the end of this week or early next week. It will not end today. We're going to vote later today. Republicans will all vote for the 14th time to reopen the government. I'm going to predict to you right now, the Democrats will vote no. They will say later today, keep the government shut. Why? Because it's election day and they want to turn out their radicals. And if they actually allow the government to open up, they're afraid their radicals will stay home and they'll lose Virginia and New Jersey and maybe even the mayor's position for Comrade Madani in New York.
Well, about that part, clearly whatever the hell that they were planning, that shit was accurate. Just gonna say, they kept that government shut down, and boy, did it work. So, yeah, it was a sweep. I guess the government shutdown did work in their favor because if you didn't know, they won all 3 places they just said. Mayor from New York, and I think the 2 ladies won governor, one in Virginia and another one in New Jersey. So, it worked. Let's let them continue because, yeah, Democrats were correct on that.
And so the Democrats will keep the government shut down. Now, my hope is they lose those elections anyway, and then they come back Wednesday or Thursday or Friday and say, all right, enough is enough. Let's reopen the government.
Love that. They're using politics to shut down the government. First, it was it's our only leverage. Then let's get through the no kings. Now it's let's get through the election. And then we'll be maybe interested in giving our SNAP benefits all their money back or giving our military their pay or making sure air traffic controllers are paid. And that leads us to this topic. Sean Duffy was on another network. He was talking about air traffic controllers because we're all wondering, going into holiday season, are we safe to fly? Can we trust that who's in that tower, that there are enough men and women in that tower to get us off and landing safely? Here's what he said.
If we thought that it was unsafe, we'll shut the whole airspace down. We won't let people travel. We're not there at this point. It's just significant delays. But again, if you're canceled or if you're delayed for 3 hours or 4 hours on your flight, there's one side to blame.
What's your reaction to that, Senator?
Well, look, I had dinner with Sean Duffy last night. I think he's doing an excellent job as Secretary of Transportation. And he's right that the FAA takes safety incredibly seriously. It is their #1 priority. And so if the staffing shortages fell too low, I believe him that they would shut down the airspace. What we're seeing now instead is we're seeing massive delays and cancellations. This weekend, there were over 9,000 delays on flights all throughout America. Just on Saturday alone, there were 650 flights canceled. And what is happening, you've got 50,000 TSA agents. They're coming into work and they're not getting a paycheck. You've got 14,000 air traffic controllers. They're coming into work. They're not getting a paycheck. They missed their first paycheck last week. And the Democrats don't care. Look, the air traffic control unions have called on the Democrats to pass a clean CR and end this. Just about every major government union has called upon the Democrats to stop inflicting this pain. The Democrats are more scared about the pink-haired loon riding a unicycle in a protest than they are about the air traffic controller who's trying to pay his mortgage and feed his kids. In my hometown of Houston, at the Bush Airport, the lines to get through TSA were 2.5 to 3 hours long because a number of TSA agents stayed home. This has got to end. And the Democrats know it, and they continue to vote, keep it shut down, keep it shut down, keep it shut down.
Well, I had got a message from Twitter. On Twitter, it was a message, and the message was, where is my thing? Where the heck is it? There it is. And on this message, it was a message from United Airlines. And this is what it said. Let me read this off to you. So United Airlines has sent the message to people or its customers, right? And it says the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the Department of Treasury, Department of Transportation have directed every airline across 40 U.S. airports to meaningfully reduce their schedules during the government shutdown. The goal is to relieve pressure on the national aviation system to keep us all operating safely. That is the highest priority for the FAA and for United Airlines. Here's what our customers should know. Check this out. All right, what is it? 4 or 5 points. First one, these reductions will start Friday, November 7th. We will continue to make rolling updates to our schedule so we can provide several days advance notice. Number 2, if your flight is impacted, we will notify you in advance via the United app, our website, or text. Number 3, United's long-haul, international, and hub-to-hub flights will not be impacted. Instead, the focus is on schedule reductions to regional and domestic mainline flights that do not travel between our hub airports. Let's keep going. And number 4, any customer traveling during this period is eligible for a refund, even if your flight is not impacted. That includes all non-refundable and basic economy tickets. Check our app or visit united.com for the latest information on your flight. Now, we're going to keep that in mind. I'm going to go back to that. The one we're going to look at when we go back later on is going to be the number 3. United's long-haul, international, and hub-to-hub flights will not be impacted. We're going to look at that later on when we get to Mandami. In the meantime, let's let Mr. Cruz finish up what he got to say. Here we go. Finish up, sir. I got you.
Gosh, you're better off almost to drive this day and age.
Yeah.
2.5 hours, 3 hours to wait on TSA?
Yeah, there was.
And also, let's see how much weight that holds. 'Cause I'm kind of curious, as I did look up to a few things to see, and I didn't see anything that really showed that there was being any long holes. But you know what? Let's just let him finish.
There's another close call in the air. Senator, thanks so much. Senator Ted Cruz giving us some of your time. Maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel this week.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't know they were finished up that fast, but shout out to Ted Cruz on that. Now, as we go into and we look in, remember he said that they want to keep the government shut down because of the election that was happening that day. Well, that day has came and passed, and he said they were going to use that to their advantage to hopefully win victoriously a sweeping victory across the landscape as far as the governors for Jersey, Virginia, and mayor of New York. Well, if you didn't know, let's go ahead and take a look at how that turned out. And this is the Democrats sweep key races in national elections. Let's take a look at this.
After a year of soul searching, after losing to Donald Trump, Democrats had sweeping victories tonight, and there are going to be 2 key takeaways to unify the party. 1, running against Trump is good politics right now. That was clear across the board in Virginia, New Jersey, New York City, and California. 2, put affordability and the economy front and center. That is meeting voters where they are. On that, Democrats will agree. But here's the other side of the coin. Democrats have two distinct models of winners tonight. Mikey Sherrill, Abigail Spanberger for governor. They are moderate, centrist Democrats. That is a lot of what the party is going to use as a model to move forward next year and in 2028. But Zoran Mamdani is a newborn star of the Democratic Party, and he's a democratic socialist representing the left wing of the party. He too is going to have a place on this stage, and so the intra-party conversation about the path forward for Democrats will continue, but it'll do so with a real shot in the arm of confidence.
Well, turns out what they were doing worked into their advantage. So shout out to the Democrats for finding a plan, finding a strategy, sticking to it, and seeing that the shit works. So shout out to y'all. But I mean, really on the cool, it's kind of like,
oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I mean, yeah. So what they did worked. And and since they won, we still have a government shutdown. No, it's been like 2 days or 1 day or 2 days. Was it yesterday or whatever day it was? Whatever day it was, it happened, and the government is still shut down. You know what I mean? And Mamdani, he just came out and let the world know he's a democratic socialist. I'm like, oh boy. I mean, when you hear him say it out loud and people are like, yeah, let's go that way, it's like, oh, do y'all know which way that's going? Are you sure you know which way that's going? I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at it. I'm going to look at it and be like, okay, that's the direction we're headed in. Now, we got to pay attention to what exactly this actually has to say. They have a breakdown for the news, for the news, right? And I'm going to show you this breakdown. All right. So first off, let's just get a little info about Mr. Mamdani. Let's see what we can find out about this guy real quick. First things first. If you don't know, let's get a little, because a lot of people don't read about people that they deal with. And I like to read. I like to read. Reading is everything to life. If you don't read, you suck. All right. So there he is right there. Mr. Mamdani, born in 1991. You know what I mean? He's born in 91, so he's like, what, 33 or something like that? 34. All right, so right here, he's an American politician, current mayor of New York City, member of the Democratic Party and Democrat Socialists of America. He has served as a member of the New York State Assembly from the 36th District since 2021, representing the Queens neighborhood of Astoria. Mamdani was born in Kampala, Uganda, to academic Mahood Mamdani and filmmaker Mira Nar, both of whom are of Indian descent. The family moved to Cape Town, South Africa when Mamdani was 5 years old. When he was 7, they moved to the U.S., settling in New York City. Mamdani graduated from Bronx High School of Science and received a bachelor's degree in a major in Africana Studies from Bowdoin College in Maine in 2014. Buddy was in Maine. Buddy was in the mecca of Democrat society, Africana Studies. I have to look at this. Oh wow. I need to figure this out. After working as housing counselor and musician, Mamdani entered local New York City politics as a campaign manager for Kadir El Yatim and Ross Barkan. He was first elected to New York State Assembly in 2020, defeating 5-term incumbent Arvela Semotas in the Democratic primary. Representing Astoria, Queens, he was reelected without opposition in 2024. Let me look at this real quick. Black Studies, Africana Studies, or let's see what this is. It's an interdisciplinary academic field. They're primarily focused on the study of history, culture, and politics of sub-Saharan Africa and African diaspora. The field includes scholars of African American, African American, Afro-Canadian, Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latino, Afro-European, Afro-Asian, Afro-Australian, and Afro-literature, history, politics, and religion, as well as those from disciplines such as the sociology, anthropology, cultural studies, psychology, education, and many of the disciplines within the humanities and social sciences. The field also uses various types of research method. Intensive academic efforts to reconstruct African American history began in the late 19th century. W.E.B. Du Bois, The Suppression of the African Slave Trade to the United States of America, 1896. Among the pioneers in the first half of the 20th century were Carter G. Woodson, Herbert I can't say their names. All right. So this is what he studied. This is what he studied. He studied this. Oh, wow. You want to talk about planned, prepare, and executed. He should. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. All right. So there's Mandami. All right. So there's Mandami. Let's go ahead and go on to the other ones real quick. All right. So that's Mandami. We're not going to go too deep into these two ladies, but here's the other people that won. This is Abigail Davis Spanberger. Yeah. That last name says it all. But yeah, she was born in Red Bank, New Jersey. All right. So we already know what she's all about. So she became the governor. Spanberger will become the state's first female governor. So she became the first female governor of Virginia. No. Yeah. Yeah. Right here. She was a CIA. She used to be a CIA officer. Now she's the governor-elect of Virginia, so she became the first female governor in Virginia. Okay. So shout out to her. You round of applause to your accomplishment, ma'am. Round of applause to you. All right, last but not least, then we have the other one. Mikey. Why they call this woman Mikey? Why the hell they call a woman Mikey? Rebecca Cheryl is what I call her. Rebecca. She's an American politician. She's represented for New Jersey, and she just became the New Jersey's gubernatorial election, or in the gubernatorial election. She is the governor-elect of New Jersey. So there is your governor of New Jersey. It's going to be this lady right here. They call her Mikey, but her name is Rebecca Cheryl. All right, so she was born in Virginia, and she, went over there and handled business over there in Jersey. So shout out to her. Bachelor's of Science. She was in the Naval Academy. She flew, so shout out to her. She was in the military, so shout out to her. Congratulations on your victory as well, ma'am. All right, so she's all about that life and about that action. All right. So we have learned.
This is why I canceled my DoorDash subscription and
So let's slow it down a little bit, because we got to make sure we have a good understanding of what we're dealing with. All right, so where is my? I lost my freaking thing.
Women really sore and.
Okay, calm down, lady. We'll look at this real quick. All right, so let's see. What does it show? There it goes. This is what I was looking for. Here it is right here. All right, cool. So we have the exit polls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the exit polls. So this is how things panned out. So in the exit polls, we have, and this is showing you, you have Mandami, Cuomo, and Sliwa. All right, so this is who we have right here. We got Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and clearly Mandami won all three. But let's look at it breakdown right here. So blue is Mandami, red is Sliwa, and Cuomo is the gray. So for gender-wise, if you can see, there it is right there. Sorry, gender-wise, 44% of men, or males, I should say, 50% went to Mandami. Females, 55% of females went to Mandami. So there were more female voters than there were male voters. And then we have the I identify another way, not enough data. Okay. So then it has RU, and we got white. 50% of white voters went 45% Mandami, 46% Cuomo. I'm gonna butcher his name. Sorry, Cuomo. All right. Then black, 17% of voters went 57% of out of the 17%, 57% of them went to Mandami, 38% went to Cuomo. The Latino population, Latino Hispanic, 17% of them, 52 went Mandami, 39 went with Cuomo. So the white woman was holding it down on the Republican side. Asian, 10% of Asians, 62% of them went with Mandami, not 32% of them went with Cuomo. And then other 5%, 51% with Mandami, and 39% with Kumo. Then we have race. All right, we got race, white and non-white. I said white and non-white. All right, 45% of white people went with Mandami. 46% of white people went with Kumo. And then 56% of non-white people went with Mandami. 37% went with Kumo. All right, cool. So then as we go down for, we don't have an all the way breakdown. Oh crap! I gotta find the breakdown. Because I had it right. Where is it? I had this up here for like the breakdown. I don't know what I did with it. I think I have it over here somewhere. Where is it? Where's that breakdown? You know, that real breakdown. It had broke this down like a fraction. I don't know what I did with it. I had it up here right between these two, and then it disappeared on me. That sucks. Is this it right here? No, that's the other thing. All right, let me pull this back up for you again. All right, so, oh wait, is it over here? I got it somewhere. I have to find it because it was very important, because I had it pulled up and I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to use this because I need this for this particular piece. All right, here we go. So we're going to do it again. Let me see real quick. Let's get this over here. Let me put this right in between there. That's what she said. And is this it right here? Where is it? Why are they not giving it to me? Gosh dang it, you people. Where is it? I need the full breakdown. Where is it? Come on. All right. Let's see. Let me find this really quick because I know I just had it. We don't want New Jersey. That's for New York. That's what I should put, because I'm not being too specific when I just say anything. Wow, where'd it go? Is this it? No. All right. Well, then we'll have to look for it like this then. Let's see. Election results. Ah, man, it sucks. I had it. I don't know where it went. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. It's not that one. It's another one that gives me a clear, like, perfectly deep breakdown, and it breaks it down like a fraction. Come on. Where is it? Why won't they show it? Give me a sec. I gotta find this. Where is it? I had it up here. What? Why did it go away? NYC results. All right, so there we go. We got that. We got this breakdown. Okay. The results. Gender. Nope. No. By age. Come on. Why is it not showing it to me? I've seen this a bunch of times already. Where did it go? They really don't want you to see this, probably. That's probably what it is. Here we go. There we go. Jesus. Okay. Good Lord. All right, here we go. This is what I was looking for. I had to find it somewhere else, but this is how they actually brought it to us. All right. So, and then I've seen this before, but this looks different than what I've seen it previously. All right. Well, we'll look at it for a second and we'll see, because why does this keep changing? Let's see, NBC election results by age. That's Harris. That's Trump. That's Harris and Trump. I don't want to see Harris and Trump. It's not what I want to see. Okay. Well, this is what we'll do. Where are we at? Let's see, by race. Let's see, by race, age. Okay. So keep this in mind. All right, now that I have this up, we're going to use this accordingly. All right, so this will actually work because I can actually use both of these. This is how this is going to work. We're going to use, we're going to look at the recent polls, and then we're going to go back and we're going to look at an old poll, pause, of Harris and Trump. We're going to look at that one back then, but then we're also going to look at the Harris and Trump election as well. It's going to be interesting when you see how this like actually looks. It's actually going to be crazy when you really look at it. All right, so let's see. Results and maps. Why did they take it down? This is trash. Why did they take it down? They knew. Age. Okay. So is this? No, that's a swing election. They took that thing down. They knew what they were doing. They took it down. All right. Well, I'm going to have to use the one that they have up here. All right. This is what we're going to use. Screw it. So what we have right here is we have this. As you can see, it shows that what NBC News exit polls Democrat data shows about gender and age. Okay. Gender and age. So it just shows the women. I don't know why it's not showing the men as well, but as far as women goes, we'll show, let's see, where's the poll about men who claim to be women after all is a man that can claim to be. All right, so people are talking trash about this, but we're going to go ahead and dig deeper into it. But from this right here, which I don't know if this is 100% true or accurate, but I know that these numbers, I believe that this number was higher. I thought this number was like 80 something. God dang it. This is trash that they have the numbers all fidgeted. Let's see if we can find the actual numbers. You know what? Let's look and see. Let me see. Do they have the poll numbers up there, or are they just going to keep screwing with everybody? Yeah, they're going to keep screwing with everybody. They're not going to show the real numbers. So we're going to use this. There we go right here. So we got the... Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, that's what I was seeing. We're going to go at it like this. Perfect. This will work. So what we have here is the Mandami polls. This is what they show about the election breakdown. 50. No. That's the wrong one too. Oh my goodness. They're giving me wrong stuff. Okay. I had this up for the Mandami poll. Now they're screwing me over. For New York mayor by age. God dang it. Wins. Okay, let's see. I gotta find it. I had it earlier. I don't know why it's freaking gone now. There's gotta be a reason why they took it down. There has to be a reason.
Do you have another call?
Is there a reason why they took it down? Well, here, maybe they'll show it right here. Will they show it on this? Nah, I don't know who that guy is. Well, anyway, well, I'm going to find it. We're going to look at this first, and then while this is going on, I'm going to go ahead and find it. So here's the election of 2025 coverage. They're going to show the national news breakdown of the election, so here we go.
Straight over to Ryan Smith at the Live Desk with the latest from New York City and what's the most watched race this cycle. Ryan.
Yeah, did you hear at the Live Desk just minutes ago, the Associated Press calling this race Zohran Mamdani in New York City, now projected to be the mayor of New York City. At last check here at the Live Desk, he earned just over 50% of the vote tonight. Again, those totals are still coming in tonight. The race generating the biggest turnout in New York City dating back to 1969. More than 2 million people here casting their ballots. This race here really driven in large part over concerns over housing affordability and the city's notoriously high cost of living. Exit polling here offering us some key insight here tonight. 57% of those polled as they head into the voting booth said that they are renters in New York City. Here's a look inside Zohran Mamdani's headquarters tonight in Brooklyn. That's where he is expected to give a victory speech really at any moment now. The 34-year-old state lawmaker defeating former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Cuomo has yet to offer an official concession tonight, though Republican Curtis Sliwa conceded in the race just moments ago. Now to New Jersey's gubernatorial race tonight. Democrat Mikey Sherrill is projected to be that state's next governor, defeating Republican Jack Ciattarelli, who had ran twice before. And in Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanberger now projected to be the state's first female governor, making history tonight. She was out with an early lead there, never really looked back, defeating current Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears.
Leadership that will focus on problem solving, not stoking division. We chose leadership that will always put Virginia first.
Inside here tonight from exit polling, about a quarter of Virginia voters who believe the outgoing Republican governor, Glenn Youngkin, had done a good job in his term, said they would back the Democrat in the race, Spanberger. She also led among independents who make up nearly a third of Virginia.
All right, so we have it here, but as you can see that they came out victorious on their end and they did their thing. I mean, unfortunately, but however, when you look deeper into it, you're going to see that the way these things are going to go, and the way the future of the world is going to be, because we are going to dive deep into this to get a good understanding as to who it is that, you know, we're dealing with. So let's go ahead and pull this up right here, and we're going to take a look at this because I have a bunch of different clips that I want to go over, kind of getting a good understanding of who this guy is, because I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything about him. But when I started looking into him, I was like, oh boy, it's about to get grimy. And let's see. Yeah. Oh, and I had it the whole time. All I had to do was go to my freaking bookmarks, and I would have had it. All right, here we go. Jesus. I could have looked here the whole time. So here is what I was looking for. Jesus. So when you break down age by gender for the Mandami voting, and look how this looks, okay? Men 18 to 29 years old. 5% of men voted, okay? Between ages of 18 and 29%, 5% voted. 68% of them went to Democrat socialists, to add that. So they know. Men 30 to 44%. 11% of them voted. 66% of them went to Democrat. Men 45 to 64. 15% of them voted. Republican and Democrat, they were, or I can't even say Republican, but whoever this Cuomo guy was, they were both 45 and 45%, so they were even. Men 65 plus, 53% went to Cuomo. They were high up there. Women 18 to 29, 6% of women, 84% of them voted Democrat. Women 30 to 44, 14% of them, 65% of them went Democrat. Women 45 to 64, 18% of them, majority of them went Cuomo by 49%, and women 65 plus, 18% of them, majority of them went to Cuomo, 57. So what you need to look at is the future. The future is here. This is the future right here. 18 to 29, okay? 18 to 29 is the future. Men ages 18 to 29 and women ages 18 to 29. 68% men, 84% women. That's what you need to look at. And then the men 30 to 44 and women 30 to 44, they both went 65 and 66. This is New York. It's a blue state, so it makes sense. But just look at that, okay? Now keep in mind, as time goes on, right now the next voting election for the president will be in 2028, I believe. So just think about the young kids who are 15 to 16 years old now. They'll be voting. You know, the 15 to 16 year olds and 17 year olds, they'll be voting in next election. So you have that next generation who will come out. Now, only 5% of them voted, 6% of the women voted, but look at where they're leaning towards. Now, they just told us that the main reason why they were voting was because of affordable housing. That was the main thing. They said the main thing they were focused on was they were keeping an eye on, they wanted affordable housing to be one of the big things that they were focused on. I'm like, I don't know if affordable housing will be the way you want to go. And I forget the other thing he said, but he said affordable housing is something else. Let me find out exactly what he said. What was the main thing that he mentioned? Let's see. Oh, yeah, it was affordable housing. And what was the other thing that they complained about?
Last check here at the Live Desk, he earned just over 50% of the vote tonight. Again, those totals are still coming in tonight. The race generating the biggest turnout in New York City dating back to 1969. More than 2 million people here casting their ballots. This race.
57% of people rent and 39% of people own in New York City. And 2% is neither rent or own. Jesus. So that just makes you think. So the main purpose of them picking this was because they wanted affordable housing.
Here really driven in large part over concerns over housing affordability and the city's notoriously high cost of living. Exit polling here offering us some key insight here tonight.
So high cost of living. So rent and high cost of living. That's what they're aiming for. So that was the main thing. And I don't think that I don't see either party helping the rent or high cost of living. But something to pay attention to is the fact that the direction that they're headed in, like you're going to see, and Gen Z, they think, at least over there on the East Coast. So on the East Coast side of things, they think predominantly, they're going to think predominantly on a blue state of mind. Now, keep in mind that if this guy's a democratic socialist, okay, look at how he thinks of things, okay? All right, so let's just take a look at some of his videos that he has out. So we're going to look at some videos to get a rundown on how he thinks. So here's a video I have right here, and he's going to speak on a situation that he says, and it says the New York City Mayor Mamdani will only empty out prisons. Violence is an artificial construct. Here we go.
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence. That is violence of the highest degree. Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence. That is violence of the highest degree. We have oftentimes...
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. And then we had a previous lady. I don't know this woman's name, but she had a, I should have known this name. Ayn Rand. If you are not familiar with Ayn Rand, she has a quote. And this quote is from Ayn Rand herself. And if you don't know who Ayn Rand is, we can give you a quick synopsis on Miss Ayn Rand herself. Did somebody make a Wikipedia about Ayn Rand? Because, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, of course they did. Ayn Rand. All right, let's go ahead and give you a quick rundown. Because Miss Ayn Rand has a quote because he is a democratic socialist, and he is proud to say it. As a matter of fact, let's get those words out of his mouth. I don't want to actually say that for him. I would like for him to say that so we can know exactly where he stands. And again, like I said, this is not me crapping on the guy or saying anything negative. This is just me understanding how things work and wanting, you need to understand how things are going to go. And this is only New York. I get it. However, New York is a big hub when it comes to the United States. New York is a big deal. It is a big, big, big deal when it comes to the United States. It's one of the financial hubs here. So I want to get this. I want to find it to where he was speaking on what he stands for. Let's see. Where does he say right? Where does he say it at right here? Where are you? Because he came out and he said it very, 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 very clear. And it was a great speech, I might add. He has a very good giving a speech. He's very good at giving speeches. I'll give him that. But let's hear him say it himself. Oh, you know what? It'll be easy if I just put it on here like this. Oh, good Lord. I butchered that word. Oh, wait. I should put his name up there, right? Let me see. Where are you at, buddy? Is it Dami or Dani? I think it's Mandami. Mandami or Mandami? I think that's how you say it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? YouTube will always have the clip that we need. So let's see. All right. There we go. Found it. All right, let's just go ahead and get this right here. This will be quick and straight to the point. We don't want the victory speech. We just want him to just speak on who he is. No. We just want the short. We don't want these long versions. All right. I think this is it.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. The sun may...
Now, you always got to remember when they say we and our and stuff like that, you have to remember who they're talking about. I don't have to find him saying he's a democratic socialist because I've already read it on the Wikipedia and it's part of it. And that's the party he's in. Ayn Rand, in case you didn't know who Ayn Rand is. Oh, where are you, Ayn Rand? You're right here. I'll go ahead and read who she is. I'm not going to pull up on the screen, but she's better known by the name Ayn Rand. That's her better known name. She's Russian-born American writer and philosopher. She is known for her fiction and for developing a philosophical system which is named the Objectivism, and was born and educated in Russia and moved to the U.S. in 1926. After she moved to the United States in 1922, after two early novels initially unsuccessful and 2 Broadway plays, she received the fame in her 1943 novel, The Fountainhead. In 1957, she published her best-selling work, the novel of Atlas Shrugged. Afterwards, until her death in 1982, she turned to nonfiction to promote her philosophy, pushing towards her own periodicals and releasing several collections of essays. All right, so that's who Ayn Rand is. So she's a pretty prominent lady, and whenever you read about her books and her philosophies, her objectivism, which is describing the essence as the concept of a man as a heroic being with his own happiness as the moral purpose of his life, with productive achievements as his noblest activities, the reason as his only absolute. She considered objectivism as a systematic philosophy and laid out positions on metaphysics and these other words I don't feel like saying. So she speaks on what she says the difference between communism and socialism is. And she says there is no difference between the two, except that in the means of achieving the same ultimate end. Communism purposes to enslave men by force. Socialism by vote. It is merely the difference between unalive and unaliving yourself. I don't think you could put it in a better way. Now, you can take that exact quote. Take that quote, and we're going to take that quote and look where we're going to send and look at where we send this quote. All right. We take that quote that she just said, and then we're going to march it right on down to this right here. All right. We take that quote and we basically came to the agreement that it is basically going to be the force upon men via unaliving, or it's going to be voted in, and that's going to be considered, unaliving of oneself. So let's take a look at the voting version of socialism, because she said communism and socialism, there's no difference. Only difference is between communism does it by force, by enslaving, by unaliving people. Socialism is the same thing, but it does it through vote. Let's take a look at what it looks like through voting. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at socialism through voting. Here is your socialism via communism, but through voting. This is what it looks like. Here we go. So with that being said, gentlemen, do you think you have that much energy in you to go to a voting poll and change the difference for yourself as a straight man, or are you not gonna vote and get outvoted? Like, they are on one accord. They clearly have rehearsed this song quite a few times. They have harmonies, I heard a 3-part harmony in there, which is fantastic. That's how you do it. I must say they came together, they had a common goal, they went out and they achieved it, and it shows in the voting poll that we look at. Clearly they all voted blue. So if you're gonna beat that, that's the same way you have to go. You got to do what they did and beat them at the voting poll. You can't just beat them off of man, might, and force. It don't work like that. Now, here's my thing. Ayn Rand said the difference between communism and socialism is one does it by force, the other one does it by vote. At what point does the forceful one wait till the voter gets the votes in, brings in socialism, and then communism decides, okay, socialists, it's about that time. And then they come in and lay the smacketh downeth on that candy ass. I'm just saying, like, it sounds like socialism is a segue into communism. I'm just saying, that's what it sounds like. Because yeah, if socialists can get socialism in through vote, but then communism is like, all right, move out the way. Y'all did y'all voting, y'all sung, y'all danced, y'all got us there. We on the same page. Now it's time to up the ante and take it to the next level. So now we gonna basically manhandle you fools out of the way. Because I mean, I don't think it's gonna be very hard for a communist to come in and dominate these people. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? People are going to be like, no, like we came and voted. We want equality. And it's like, yeah, well, we had it. And this is who the communists are going to smack out of the way. Because, people believe that socialism and communism are completely two different things. Well, if one works through voting and the other one works through force, but they both have the same agenda. I mean, if I'm a tyrant, right, and y'all go do the legwork to the votes and bring the power in, and then finally a bunch of dudes like this voted in the might and military force of what we both agree upon, and I'm the Genghis Khan of this issue. Bro, I'm about to walk in the office and be like, hey, guys, thank you for everything that you did. I'm gonna need all of you. All right. And if you don't agree with how my forceful ways are going to be, we did the voting part, but if you don't agree with my forceful ways, well,
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers, you know?
All right, it's time for things to get grimy, okay? It's about to get real in the field, okay? We're gonna show you what this is all about, buddy. You know, we're gonna show you how to get down, okay? We finna show you, we finna turn those those soft hands into man hands. we finna show. As a matter of fact, I think they have some images of what this may look like. It's like, look here, buddy. This is how we get down. Let me show you how the communists get down versus the socialists. Let me show you. I don't know if I can show that picture. That's kind of grimy. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So this is how the communists are gonna get down versus the socialists. This is just a quick depiction. So this is communism. Yeah, once socialism gets it in there, communism is gonna be like, okay, excuse me, buddy, we got business to tend to. Okay, yeah, this is how we're gonna start handling things now. Yeah, this is it's about to get real. You know what I mean? Now, as you see, they worked their way in and they got New York. Now, he made a speech that was very, very, very telling. And I need to find where he spoke about the borders, how he sees the borders. And I need to find that speech. Well, first of all, let's get to where he's going to deal with the oldest profession in the book, or the oldest profession known to man. Let's see how he feels about New York City decriminalizing 304 activity. Let's go ahead and look into this, and let's see how he feels about the quality of life of said workers. Here we go.
And to follow the advice of district attorneys that we have here in New York City, the current Manhattan DA, the former Manhattan DA, the current Brooklyn DA, the former Manhattan DA having said that prosecuting women for prostitution is something that actually leads to less safety. And what we need to do is provide an economy of opportunity.
Just a quick clarification. So no legalization, how about decriminalization?
I do not think that we should be prosecuting women who are struggling, who are currently being thrown in jail, and then being offered job opportunities. I think we should be actually providing those kinds of opportunities at the first point of interaction. And to follow.
So, OnlyFans and streetwalkers are about to go through the roof. Hello. He says if you prosecute streetwalkers, they become less safe. So locking them away is less safe. We got to figure out how to make them more safe and give them opportunities. Like, you're trying to tell a 304, you're trying to give a 304 an opportunity and a better quality of life. Now, hear me out. Okay. You take a slutty woman and you take her out of that life of debauchery, and you take a harlot, right? There's the word, harlot, and you take her out of the life of harlotry, and you give her like an opportunity of a good job and a good life to become a nurse or a doctor, or she's still gonna do harlot activity just at a higher level, bro. You do know this, right? I mean, think about it. She was like, man, I was getting these broke dudes, but now I got these rich dudes up here and they having a hard time getting some punani, and I could just give it to them. And now she got all this money from being a doctor, lawyer, politician. Now she can make herself look good, smell good, the best of the best. And when she got to throw that thing on somebody, she's dealing with like nerdy, geeky dudes who really don't deal with punani on a daily basis. Bruh, she's about to dominate the playing field. She about to dominate. She is about to dominate the world of whatever she goes. So you can try that, but it's not gonna work. It's just not. She ain't gonna stop. She just found a more lucrative playing field to play in. She's like, dang, now my clients are doctors, lawyers, and politicians. I didn't think I'd get here, but man, this job sure did give me the upper hand. So yeah. All right. Well, that's what he feels like on that. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, yes, we have this as well.
Is the amount of...
All right, so we have another interview from said individual himself. And again, I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying that you have to understand what you're getting yourself into. If this is happening, then you have to understand that this is how the world is going to go, because it is being voted in by choice, okay? It's being voted in by choice. And you can't hate on the votes. You got to accept the votes for what it is. And you have to know how to navigate in a world where things change, because you saw the old, because when you get red and blue, Republican or Democrat, right? You saw the votes, or understanding those two parties. The blue is progressive, socialist, communistic wise. The red is conservative, tradition, marriage, and all that stuff, right? The blue side, they are all about LGBTQRSTUV rights. They're all about immigration. They're all about, protecting street work harlots. They're all about all these different things. So when you think about it, that's the direction we're headed in. So you have to accept it. Like, hey, this is what they want. This is what they're voting in. You have to accept that the life is changing now. It's changing. I showed you the voting poll. When you looked at the age was what? When it got to like 44 to 50s, that's when you saw the votes going traditional and Republican. Was it like 55 or 65 and above? Republican. But from like 44 to 18, oh, the Democrat swing, the blue side, it was, so the new mind, the new way of thinking, the way the world is moving, and that was, and Democrats won all three. Mayor of New York and 2 governors in Virginia and New Jersey. So this blue way of thinking, and that's what I'm showing you. The way he thinks, this is the way we're moving towards. We're moving towards this train of thought. So you have to accept reality for what it is. like you have to accept it, because this is what's coming. This is what it is. And I'm not knocking him. I just want you to understand. All right, so here we go. We have another interview with him again, a short one. This one says, Mandami, policing is something that does not create safety. All right, let's see where we go with this.
Because that is the amount of money that will solve everything. It comes out of an understanding that policing is something that does not create safety. And what we need to do is reinvest into things that are proven indicators and creators of safety. And the city council budget did not do that. And it's just mind-blowing, because that is the amount of money that will solve everything. It comes out of an understanding that policing is something that does not create safety. And what we need to do is reinvest into things that are proven indicators and creators of safety. And the city council budget did not do that. And it's just mind-blowing, because
so what's the budget that would create safety? That's the question. I'm curious as to what he thinks would create safety if the budget doesn't create safety. All right. I just don't understand. So I'm curious as to what he would say, as to what he thinks. Let's see. And where are we at? What's the next thing we have? Oh, here we go. This is his speech on his beliefs. Whoa, here we go. So here's his speech on beliefs. I was trying to find this earlier. It says, my politics is built on a belief in human rights for all. I'll let him say the rest. So here we go. Quick 10 seconds.
My politics is consistent, and my politics is built on a belief in human rights for all people. And that extends to queer and trans New Yorkers, and it extends to queer and trans Ugandans. My politics is consistent, and my politics is built on a belief in human rights for all people. And that extends to queer and trans New Yorkers, and it extends to queer and trans Ugandans. All
right, you heard him. That goes for Americans and Africans. He went on both sides of the world. He went on the west side and the east side. And this also, in case you didn't hear him, because he didn't say this part out loud, that includes your children. Yeah, your kids. Keep that in mind. This includes the kids too. Oh yeah, this includes the kids. All right, now we finna get into the nitty gritty. All right, now we finna get into the nitty gritty of things. All right. Here we go. All right, so here's what he says about this. All right, so we have this right here. Hit up. Where's this little fruit fly? We got this little tweet that was made by him. And he says, and I'll read it to you. We have right here, he says, when Cuomo refuses to tax the rich, which everybody knows that is a dumb thing, he's refusing to let workers enjoy the wealth that they created. I can agree with that. When he says low taxes foster a business-friendly environment, he means an environment where it's easy for bosses to steal from workers. Taxation is not theft. Capitalism is. You know, there was a cartoon I used to watch when I was a little kid. It was a cartoon. It was called, it was Robin Hood, but there was like a fox and a bear. It's like 1970s, I believe. You know, the intro song was Robin Hood and Little John are walking through the forest. Yoodle-lada, what a day. Doom, ding, doom, 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 ding. If you remember that old one. And, you know, you had basically the story of Robin Hood. You steal from the rich and you give to the poor. And throughout that movie, you had the big, fat, slimy tax collector. He would come through. He was taxing everybody. Remember, you had the dog on the crutch. He had that cast on his leg, and he would come by and collect taxes from everybody, the priests, the handicapped, the poor, the kids. He even took it from the little kids. And remember when he came by to take the taxes from people, remember the dog who had his cast on, he was like, he ain't got it. He went and pulled that cast leg up and patted on the bottom a few times, and some coins came out. He took it from him. The little boy that was a rabbit, one of the main characters, little rabbit boy, like little 5, 7, 8-year-old little rabbit boy. He, you know, worked his way for his little coins. He took his little money and said, life lesson, you know, taxation, because he had to come collect them taxes. And he was always coming to collect taxes from all the poor people. And I guess we would always assume he didn't tax the rich, but, you know, the tax code is set up for people who have a business, so you can mitigate your taxes by either investing majority of your money into your business so you don't have to pay taxes as much. But for the poor people, the taxation, I mean, it did feel like theft because he was taking like all they had left. They tried to hide it from him, and he was always coming through collecting taxes, and it was like he was robbing them people. And he didn't care what condition they was in. He didn't care how bad they needed it. Even when a little boy cried, he ain't give a damn about that little boy crying. He took it from everybody. And that was my lesson on taxes as a kid. If you ever go watch it, I'll show you the movie. Let me show you what movie I'm talking about. Robin Hood, 1973. Yeah, here it is right here. Old school classic right here, boy. If you've ever seen this, if you know, you know. This right here, this movie will teach you. Have your kids watch this movie. If you got your kid, make your kids watch this movie. They'll learn a lot from this old classic movie right here. This will teach you a lot about life. And shout out to, was this a Disney movie? Yes, it was. This movie right here, Robin Hood, the way it really happened. This one right here. There's Robin Hood. He's a fox. There's Little John, the big bear. There's the priest. There's the big tax man right here. I thought he was a bear, but he's clearly a big old fox or something. I don't know. The tiger was the king, and the snake was his side right-hand man. There's a little boy right there, and then there's the little mouse and wife couple right here and stuff, and he had a mama that Robin Hood was fond over. But have your kids watch this movie. This is a really good movie that everybody should watch. It's a good movie because it gives you a good understanding on life. You know, it's really good. So for him to say that taxation is not theft, but capitalism is, I can see where you say that, but you can't ever tax the rich, because the rich are always going to find a way to use the tax code and their benefit, because the tax code was designed for rich people, or for people who have businesses to mitigate their taxes. You know, tax avoidance is not a crime. Tax evasion is. So you say tax rich people, it's like, well, they worked for it, so therefore you try to tax them. Now, I get it. When you look at the politicians and you see like your Nancy Pelosi's and people like that who always got like insider trading tips and are always doing like the best stock picks and all that stuff, like, I get that. But she on the same side he on. And also, even if you look on the Republican side, you probably got some of the same crap happening, but they're both on the same bird, because the wings are on the same bird. Left wing and right wing is on the same bird. So if you're going to tax somebody, tax your fellow co-workers, whether they red or blue. You know, because we all know you go to eat after these freaking election polls. So like, tax your co-workers. They the ones out here making all the bank, not us. All right, so there's that. Now let's get into some nitty gritty on how this situation can look. All right, so there was a video where a guy looked like he was speaking to Mandami, but it's like he was trying to speak to him about, he wasn't trying to talk to him too loud, but he was like, hey, bruh, like, I know where you come from. You over here now. Are you going to still rock the same way you used to? Or are you going to denounce it and abide by the new country laws? Well, let's hear how this conversation goes. Here we go.
What is Sharia law have to do with this? I'm denouncing them. I'm asking you. I am running. I know, but I'm like, that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. You denounce that. What is Sharia law?
I come from a political tradition Donald Trump describes as the enemy within. We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
Sharia law. What is Sharia law have to do with this? I'm denouncing them. I'm asking you. I am running. I know, but I'm like, that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. You denounce that.
What is Sharia law? Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Eid Mubarak. Thank you.
What is Sharia law have to do with this? I'm denouncing them. I'm asking you. I am running. I know, but I'm like, that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. You denounce that.
What is Sharia law? I come from a political tradition Donald Trump described.
All right, so he never said yes that he would. He was like, I'm running for mayor. Like, what is Sharia law again? I'm not too fond of those words. I have no clue what that is. What is it again? I wasn't raised on that lifestyle. No, not really. I'm not too fond of that. So, yeah. So there's the thing right there. He plays like he doesn't comprehend what Sharia law is, and you have to understand that he is now the mayor of New York, which gives him a leg up to keep, you know, he can keep going. And again, I always understand, like, the times are gonna change. Economic cycles make things change. You know what I mean? Everything is economics and timing of everything. It's always gonna change. It's never gonna stay the same. And just to get a better understanding, now that you have somebody in here who is, you know, from Uganda, grew up in New York, has a whole freaking African American study bachelor's degree. I don't understand that. Well, I guess I do, because that's where your votes come from. So you know how to resonate with your voters in a very good way. At least that's what I would think. If you went for African American studies, then I would assume it would be smart of you to do so to get your voters, because clearly whoever said I'll make them nigglets vote Democrat for the next 100 years wasn't lying. Because it seems like that's how it's going. But looking at the steps that are taken, if he doesn't denounce, like that guy asked him, are you going to denounce it? You're running for mayor, but I'm asking you, are you going to denounce it? He never said he would. And we just saw understanding communism and socialism, or socialist, whatever you want to call it. He's a known socialist. Socialists are basically ones who get it in by vote. Then the next step is communism, of course. Now, if he's not denouncing Sharia law, and if you know anything about history, Christians and Muslims have been crusading their asses off for centuries, bruh. Like, these fools have been fighting for hundreds of years. Like, we're going to dive into that as well. We're going to look at that history too. Like, these fools been going at it. And the question is like, what y'all fighting for? Because at the end of the day, everybody else is just casualties of war. Now, to look deeper into the, well, not deeper into this, but to give a good idea, let's take a look at this right here. So we have him again. And where is it at? He was going against one of the candidates, and they had their what is it called? Their debate. Oh, no. We're gonna look at this dude. How other people think of him when you have a Democrat and a socialist. Most people can see for what it is. Most people are like, no, they're not the same thing. Communism and socialism, they're not the same thing. In reality, they are. They're pretty much the same thing, because you're giving government all the authority and power, but they're going to do it by voting. Now, we're going to look at what this guy says, and then we're going to look at the two different versions of a socialist and a communist. You're going to look at one person who looks at it by voting, and you're going to look at another person who looks at it by bullet. So let's start with this dude first, and we're going to have him. We're going to have the good old black community speak on how this looks. So here we go.
You put in communist and yes, communist policies. That's what Zoran Mamdani is talking about.
He's not a communist.
It never works.
Socialist. He says he's Democratic
I can't tell what the difference is.
Well, he can describe
Explain what the difference is.
He can describe the differences for you. The socialism is not the same basis of communism in this country. You know that quite well.
The man wants to create government-run grocery stores. He wants free transportation, both of which are impossible to do. Because how
that communism is a trigger word to try to undermine all of his policies. He's not he says he's a socialist.
I don't need to undermine his policies. His policies undermine himself.
Well,
because they've never worked. Here's all I want him to do. Tell me where they've ever worked. They've never worked. He knows that. I knows that. But what he's trying to do is promise everybody something that they can't have. And the truth is, there is no free lunch, just like there's no free bus. Because you know what happens when you have a free bus? There's nobody there to fix it or to drive it. He knows that. I know that. You know that. America does know it. And it's unfortunate that the city of New York, my former home city, is probably going to have to go through this.
Well, he sees it for what it is. Now, he spoke on a free bus. Let's figure out what this free bus is, because I want to know, how do you get a free bus? Where is a free bus? What is a free bus? Let's see. He said a free bus. There is something that he mentioned about a free bus, but I want to show you how Mamdani stated how he's going to get a free bus, and it's really interesting. It actually is the way he stated it. He is going to get a free bus, but we have to see how that works Let's see. Where we at? Mondami's free bus. This is going to be interesting whenever you hear about this, okay? Oh, let me see. Where are we at? Let's get this back real quick. All right. Free buses. Mondami speaks on free buses, all right? So how is he going to get free buses? And it's going to be pretty interesting once you hear the words come out of his mouth about how he's going to get free buses. So where is it at? Is this it right here? Oh, here we go. Free buses for all. I always remember this. Free is the most expensive thing you will ever get in your life. If you ever get something for free, just know that shit's going to be expensive, bruh. It's kind of like freedom. People think freedom is free. Nah. Jesus wanted freedom, and you saw what cost that came to. I mean, he came to fulfill a prophecy, but that prophecy was to fulfill people of their sins, to be free from all the sins that they did. That came with a price. So, Mondami's plan to make buses free. Let's hear what his plans are to make buses free. So homie just talked about that. Let's see what the plan is to make buses free, since the lady even said it. He'll tell you what his policies are. You're just trying to use communism to undermine his campaign or something like that. I'm like, sweetheart, when has a politician ever did what they said that they was gonna do when they go to office? Like, I mean, like, since when? Even Trump has reneged on some of the things he said he was gonna do in office. Bill Clinton, George Bush, like, go down the list. They all do it. What make him any different? I know he ain't a president, but just saying, what make him any different? Anyway, how's homie gonna get a free bus? Let's see.
But the question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares. And that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany. And I've put forward two proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers by 2%. That would raise $4 billion. The second is to raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which would raise $5 billion.
We're going to. But the question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares. And that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany. And I've put forward two proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers.
To raise a proposal on the top 1% of New Yorkers, which will give you $4 billion. Okay. What makes you think a rich person in New York is going to stay still? What makes you think they're going to sit there and just get taxed and not move? Then that 1% changes. Let's continue.
By 2%. That would raise $4 billion. The second is to raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which would raise $5 billion.
To raise the state's corporate tax rate. What is the state's corporate tax rate? Does anybody know? We can find out really quick. Let's see. Let's get a quick rundown. What is the state's corporate tax rate? What is the state's corporate, oh, there it is right there. Corporate tax rate. Let's figure out what that is. What is the state's corporate tax rate? Should I say New York? Let's see. State's corporate tax rate. So, oh, I know what it is. In Texas, we don't have a state tax. California has a state tax. New York has a state tax. Texas doesn't. New York, you have a state tax, don't you? Yeah, you do. So when you have to file taxes, you have to file federal and state. He's saying raise the state tax. So remember, he said that taxation isn't theft, capitalism is. So I'm going to try to steal from the capitalists, the rich people. And in that philosophy, they going to sit there and not leave the state and allow me to do that to them. And then I'm going to turn around and then I'm going to increase the state tax corporate. I'm going to increase the state tax rate, which everybody has to pay. So I'm getting money from the rich people, assuming that they're not going to leave. They're going to stay put and let me tax them. And then the state tax, which the poor people or middle-class people, poor people who can't leave the state, they going to bear that too so they can have a free bus. That's not... I just want you to understand. You have to understand this. You have to understand it. Just understand how that works. It doesn't. So, with that being said, as we continue to go on, let's see what else we have right here. We have Mandami is calling on working people who have been left behind to support his transition team with donations. Oh, man. All right. So, let's see. Let's see how this works. Here we go. Let's hear how this works out. All right. Working people who have been left behind, he's asking them to support his transition team with donations. So you just need more money from the poor people, huh? Well, what about the rich folks? Don't you know any of them? Let's continue.
Well, thank you for the question. It's transition2025.com. And, you know, there were a few months ago where I told supporters across this city to stop donating. And today I am asking them to start once again. And I am asking them to do so because of the fact that a transition that can meet the moment of preparing for January 1st is one that will require staff, it will require research, it will require infrastructure. And those are things that we will have to provide. And I'm excited for the fact that it will be funded by the very people who brought us to this point, the working people who have been left behind by the politics of the city. Well,
okay, and oh, by the way, the working people are not having any issues with the government shutdown, I might add. The working people are not affected by a government shutdown. They're not affected by inflation. They're not affected by mass layoffs and mass job cuts. They're not affected by AI causing a hard job market. They're not affected by any of high rent and high cost of living. The working people are not affected by that. So yes, working people donate to a cause that is better than yourself. All right. So as long as you do that, you should get what you want. All right. Now we must continue because this goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Now let's dive a little deeper. Again, I'm not hating on this particular individual. Whoops. I'm not hating on this individual whatsoever. So don't think of it as me hating. I just want you to get an understanding as to what direction that we're moving in, because the younger generation of people who are going to be able to vote 18 to 29, you know, and then those same people, as they get older, they're going to still probably vote the same direction as life goes on. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna keep going that way for a while, you know, because things have to change. Things change. And it may go that way for the next 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, and then you might have something else change. But still, you want to always look 5 to 10 years out. That's what I want you to do. I want you to think 5 to 10 years out. Always look out 5 to 10 years. All right, so let's go back to, what was it? It was this one right here. Where we at? Here we go. All right, so we're speaking on, oh goodness, socialist and socialist and communist. All right, so first we're going to start out. We have people celebrating, and they're celebrating the victory of Sharia law coming into place. So we're going to show some victors. Very happy, a female voter who has voted for Mandami, which I'm not knocking, but just listen to the mindset of people. Here we go.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York, starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead, it ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
She said, I'm happy that Dick Cheney died, and I'm happy that Mamdani won. She is celebrating the death of Dick Cheney. Come on now, bruh. I mean, I don't even know anything that Dick Cheney done. I don't even pay attention to him. Well, all right, so now that we have that, let's hear this Sharia law come out of the horse's mouth. Muslim Brotherhood leader says they will push Sharia law in America by ballot or by bullet. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear how this conversation goes. The organization openly states they will change U.S. law by elections or violence. Elections or violence, their words. We either will take this seriously or we will regret it later. All right. Now remember, the difference between communism and socialist is one does it by vote, and then the communist does it by force. Like I said, once you're a socialist and you bring in the ideology and you got the people sedated and cool and calm and relaxed and the women empowered, it ain't nothing to come in here to a sedated economy where the men have, where the men have basically, been out here singing vote songs. You're dealing with men that sing voter songs, and all the communists got to do is walk in with a backhand and just be like, shut up. But let's hear what he got to say. Here we go.
Now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into Parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
Muslim Brotherhood.
I find that there are only two things which are open to our movements. Ballot or bullet, nothing in between.
I used to say that democracy is haram. Now I say participation in democracy is our jihad. That's our jihad. We're going to fight not through the bullets, but the ballot.
Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn. And it is a jihad that is now needs to be done because this is our modern jihad. You can elect a person who wants the Sharia.
Because in the United States, what we do know is that in the past election, just this last election, there have been over 800 Muslim candidates running for office.
We may end up with about 50 members of Congress in the next 6 years. That's really the essence of dismantling the system of injustice, is to replace it with the people who represent the Prophet ﷺ.
Well, buddy, they have their plan in full effect, in full force, and they are coming. Well, they know what they're doing, and while they know what they're doing, you have to remember on the other end, this is what America is looking like. Let's take a look. This is Mamdani's aunt, right? And this is what Mamdani voters are going to start looking like. Look at the men that these guys are going to have to pull a backhand to later on. Just take a look at this. Yeah, okay. That's gonna be the that's gonna be the opposition of these guys right here. Okay, this is the opposition. Listen to how these guys are talking. Like, listen.
Now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into Parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
Muslim Brotherhood.
I find that there are only two things which are open to our movements. Ballot or bullet, nothing in between.
I used to say that
So clearly they are on one accord and they understand how they're going to get here. And let me show you their future competition again. Let me find their future competition. Where's the future competition of these guys? Where is it? Where is their resistance that they're going to have to deal with? Let me find those guys' resistance. Oh, here's their resistance. Here we go. All right, so here's their resistance that they're going to have to deal with here in the future, because right now, America and patriarchy is an evil thing. So this is their resistance that they're going to deal with. This is who they're going to have to, fight. And when they get tired of hearing that song, all the Muslims gonna have to do is this. Shut up! That's all they gonna have to do, bro. They ain't even gotta pull out the sword. They just be like, "Hey, man." Shut up! Like, haram. Like, we don't want to hear that no more, bro. All right. Thanks. Thank you for your votes, man. Thank you. Go over there and sit down somewhere and shut up. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's what they have to deal with, man. That's what they're gonna have to be up against. Okay, that's what they're gonna be fighting for. That's the opposition that they're gonna have to deal with in the future. And trust me, it keeps going. It keeps going. Now, let me give you an idea of what this looks like in a nutshell. So right now, if you don't know anything better right now, London, after almost 10 years of having a Muslim mayor, their world has changed drastically. Now, clearly, this is why I call this World War III, the Crusade, because to me, this is a holy war that we're witnessing. Like he said earlier, it used to be with the sword. Now it's with the ballot, because, World War III is not going to be fought the same. It's not going to be fought and hoorah. It's not going to be like that anymore. It's different. It's not going to be what we think of war as. It's going to be economic. It's going to be is going to be voting in ballots. That's how it's happening. So that's why I call this World War III, the Crusade, because it's happening. This is a straight crusade. This is a holy war. These people are fighting over gods. You got the Christian God and Allah. Muhammad over here. Like, this is what you're dealing with: Jesus and God, Muhammad and Allah. This is what they're dealing with, right? This is the battle. This is a straight crusade. This is a crusade. And this crusade been going on for centuries. We still got to go through the history. But let's take a look at how the UK looks after having a mayor for 10 years. As a matter of fact, can we find out who their mayor is? Who is the mayor of, is it London? Who is the mayor? Sadiq Khan. All right, there we go. Sadiq Khan. He is the mayor in London. Now, let me see. Khan. He was in office 2005 to 2016. And then he was succeeded by Rosina Aline Khan. Okay, well then hell. Assumed in 2016, in office from 2014 to 2018. Did anybody succeed her? Or is she still preceded by, that's who preceded. Is she still in office? Who was the current one? Oh, since 2016. So he's the mayor of London. All right, cool. He's the mayor of London. Anyway, let's take a look at what it looks like. All right, so Sadiq Khan is the mayor of London. I guess he's currently still it right now. He's a British police serving as the third and current mayor of London since 2016. Yeah, that's him. All right, so this is what it looks like for London London after 10 years of having a Muslim mayor. And I showed you that this is a planned event. This is planned. They know what they're doing. And they got everybody on code. They got I got to give them credit for the participation and everybody coming together. I got to give them a round of applause for that. I do. They on one page. They taking classes in back rooms, public speakings, outings, and out. Let's take a look at what it looks like after 10 years. In London with a mayor. So yeah, they are on one accord and they are making their moves and they're doing what they got to do. I mean, it's happening slowly but surely. It is happening. All right. Now remember that Mr. What's his name? What's the dude name? I forget. Zoran. Remember, he said he is okay. He is A-okay with the LGBTQ community from east to west, from U.S. to Africa. He also says that violence is a artificial construct. All right. Let's see if this falls. Let's see where this would fall under as a crime in New York, when your mayor believes in LGBTQ and violence as an artificial construct. Where do you think this falls under? Where would you place this crime? Keep men at a women's bathroom. A man allegedly invades the women's restroom what appears to be with a bottle of lube, assaulted a woman after he was confronted, and then fled the scene. Let's take a look.
No! Fuck the fuck, bitch! That shit! You was watching my friends!
These motherfuckers are sick.
You stink, bitch! You stink! I should punch you in your fucking face. I really should! You dead ass? You dead ass? You dead ass? You dead ass? Fucking bathroom?
I run this shit.
You in the fucking... You ain't run shit! You touch it, nigga! Who the fuck you touch it, nigga? Who the fuck you touch it? What? Nigga, where did this nigga even come from? I can beat your ass!
All right, that was an artificial construct for sure. Buddy just needs he just needs a hug and a helping hand. That's all he needs. Yeah, that's a artificial construct, I must say. Where's my thing? There it is. So if that happens in New York, is that considered an artificial construct? like, you know what I mean? Like, where does that go? Where did you put that? Because, you know, like, he had lube, his pants was off, allegedly he hit one of the ladies, but, you know, like, it's an artificial construct. Like, what did he do wrong? We can't figure it out, you know what I mean? This is not looking good at all. Oh my goodness, it's not looking good at all, man. Oh man. All right, so oh boy, let's see. How much better does this get? Let's see. Here we go. Oh yeah, let's keep going. All right, well, for the kids. All right, children, here we go. He says, Zohar Mandami's education policy isn't about supporting low-performing kids. It's about eliminating high-performing kids. So he just trying to make the kids a bunch of dumbasses. Last time I posted about his opposition to high-achieving people, last time I posted about his opposition to high-achieving kids, people accused me of taking old quotes out of context. Is this clear enough? All right, well, let's see the quote. Mandami says he would phase out New York City's gifted program for early grades. The Democratic frontrunner in the mayor's race plans, if elected, to replace the selective program, which became a symbol of segregation in public schools. Okay, well, let's make sure that we don't take his words out of context, okay? Let's see. Gifted program for early grades. Let's make sure we get that right. What is gifted program for early grades mean in New York? All right. Let's see. Let's just, we have to make sure that we don't get it wrong. New York City Gifted and Talented Programs for Early Grades offers accelerated instructions to eligible elementary students, providing an enriched curriculum that can be 1/2 to a full grade level above the age, with placement often determined by lottery for K through 5 and GT and G&T programs. So the New York City Gifted and Talented program provides accelerated, rigorous instructions for eligible elementary students for various types of programs, admissions, and processes, including lotteries for kindergarten through 5th grade. All right, so if the kid is smart enough to accelerate, then accelerate them, get them on the path to where they need to be instead of stifling their growth, because clearly the classes that they're in is going to be too easy for them. So it's like, hey, get them up to where they need to be. Don't just hold them back. All right, so that's what that is. Well, he's going to get rid of that. So kids, if you're too smart to where you're at, don't worry. We'll just keep you stunted and let you stay there and not excel and just become a dumbass in the future, unfortunately, for the children. All right. And what do we have next here? Let's keep going. We have, who is this? Where is it? Let's see. Oh, let's see. After means doing what is difficult. No. Where's the, oh wait, I'm in the wrong section. Where is it? That's funny. All right, where are we at? I'm in the wrong, here we go. Is this it? This is, should we look at his wife? Nah, but his wife look crazy though, I must say. All right, so these people are hating on him. Again, I'm not hating on him. You just have to accept reality for what it is. Don't hate on him. Just accept it for what it is. Let's see. What do we have? What was the next? Oh, yes, PBD. Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David is going to speak on something. He made a very, very, very good point. I have to bring him up here. He made a quick video. Well, not a quick video, but like a 2-minute video. But he spoke on Mandami becoming mayor. And one thing you need to know about Mandami becoming mayor is that he is, I couldn't find the video, but he's going to allow immigrants to come in. That's going to happen. Like he's allowing that. So basically, the floodgates to New York City is open. So if you want to get in, you can get in through New York for sure. Like New York is your segue to get in. And that's like the most financially economic like city in the United States. But PBD is going to break down, Patrick Bet-David, he's going to break down and give a good understanding as to how this all is going to play out in the long run. All right. And I think he made a pretty good argument as to how this is going to work. So let's take a look and see what PBD says about how Mandami winning is going to basically have a clear opening for things to open up in New York and to basically work its way inside through the rest of the country. But also remember that when you get the minds of the kids and have their minds thinking socialists as they grow older and like hate patriarchy, believe in socialism, hate patriarchy, you're also getting the children to think that way as well. And they grow up with that mindset. And then you have a clashing of the genders, the male, the female, the boys and the girls, they're clashing with each other. And then you empower one gender over another and you raise the women and you stifle the men. And it's easy to take over a nation of women than it is a nation of men. You got a nation of strong men, you're going to have a problem. But if you got a nation of empowered women, like, you have a nation of empowered women. Like at the end of the day, like, yeah, they empowered, but when you really want to put some force in, all you got to do is you kind of see what I'm saying? So, it's kind of like that walk we just saw. I just showed you all them people walking, and where was it? Where was it? I can't find the video anymore. But the video I just showed where all of the Muslims were walking in London. They were just walking down the street in London like there was nothing wrong. Just walking. Just doop doo 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 doo. They were walking. But all you saw was women. Like there was no threat whatsoever. You didn't feel threatened when you saw that video. You just saw a bunch of women with the little faces out. That's all you saw. You was like, oh, imagine if you were going to take over the Muslim country and all the women were empowered, but the men were, cast to the side or, it is a very low percentage of men that were in place. You would see all these women and be like, you would see all these women and think one thing. You'd be like, it's about to go down. Because all we got to do, we ain't even got to raise up a gun. All we got to do is be like, shut up. You know what I mean? So PBD is going to make a good point. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say about Mamdani winning the mayor. Here we go.
Mamdani won New York City mayoral race. Here's a question I got for you. Who do you think is moving to New York City? Who's actually moving? Not forget about the people that are moving out. 756,000 families are definitely thinking about moving out of New York City. No. Who's moving to New York City? You may say nobody. You're wrong. A lot of people will. But you know what type of people? Let's go through it together. You think job creators are moving to New York City? Probably not. You think investors are moving to New York City? Probably not. You think families who want safety for their kids and the criminals to be kept into prison are going to be going to New York City? No. You think people that are pro Second Amendment, safety, low taxes are going to be moving to New York City? No. But who will be moving to New York City? If you're a criminal, it's a great time to move to New York City. Think about it. He wants to let people out of prison. Guess what? I'm not telling you to move there, but it's a great policy. If you're somebody that doesn't want to work at all, and you just want entitlement programs, this is a massive opportunity to move to New York City. Massive opportunity to move to New York City. If you're an illegal immigrant, are you kidding me? Like, this is heaven for you. He will protect you. Move to New York City. He will protect you. He's for you. So I think New York City is about to have a net migration increase, not decrease. Everyone's thinking they're going to lose people. They're not going to lose people. It's about to increase. Let me tell you what type of people are going to move there. All of those people we just talked about. FYI, I'm Armenian and Assyrian. You know when Armenians left Iran or Lebanon or Armenia, where they moved to? Glendale. And we all moved because we felt safer there. You know what type of people are going to move to New York City? People who are democratic socialists, people who are Muslims. I would feel safe there if he's the mayor. And people who are wanting entitlement programs. This guy's been raised by a rich family. Mom made money, dad's made money, and entitled. It's kind of cool. So guess what? To all the criminals, those who want entitlement programs, and illegal immigrants, you officially have a great city to move to. It's called New York City.
Yep, can't argue with him there, because you're going to get taken care of by the government. For sure. Mayor going to take care of you. Mayor going to make sure you Gucci. You're going to be good walking up in there. He already said that violence is an artificial construct. He's already going to welcome his people in. He even said, PBD said, he's what did he say? He's Armenian. So when they had to move or dip away from where they were because it was dangerous, where'd they go to? Glendale. Excuse me, Glendale, because it was safe. And it was the safest move for them to make into the United States. He's basically saying, I've made this move before. I understand why the move for those people would be made to that specific region of the country. It makes sense. We did it. It was smart for us to move to Glendale because it was a safe move. Who was in office and how we could get in without any issue. It was a perfect move. I don't know if he benefited from benefits moving to Glendale and all that good stuff, but he understands it. He's like, I actually get it. Yeah, if I was them, I would do it too. Plus criminals are coming in. Dude don't want to deal with criminals. He's like, nah, man, it's artificial construct, give him a hug, and then he's downplaying the whole Sharia law thing, which I don't think that's going to be at the forefront at the beginning. I don't think that's going to come first. You got to get people, comfortable, first. The rug pull always happens later, not yet. They got to get comfortable first. Get your people in first, Your people already know what Sharia law is about. They already know what Sharia law is about. Don't do it yet. Let's just, do what they do here, but we still do our law on the low. We know how we act. We'll catch you slipping if you acting up, but on public side, let's just chill. We ain't gonna hit them with it yet. Give it time. We got to get our claws deeper in because like they said, in the last election, He said there were 800 Muslims that were nominated or something like that. So they're in the ballots. They there. This dude done had bachelor's degrees and everything and worked his way into politics. So they've been doing this. I mean, to think, Mandami was born in 91, 92. He's 34 years old. We're in 2025. They've been doing this for the better half of like 40 years. Easily. This has been a 40-year plan. 40, 50, 60-year plan. Easily. Easily they've been doing this. And then it makes it easier when you get, you know, the LGBTQ people to get into your side, because now y'all both have like a common thing going on. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they hate you, they hate me too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, hey, they don't like you because you're LGBTQ. They don't like me either because I'm Muslim. We have a common interest. Let's see if we can work these. Are you okay with these policies? I agree on these. Yeah, I agree. I agree that you should have rights. I'm a minority just like you. You know what I mean? Like, you start working your way in over the years, over the decades. You know what I'm saying? Over the, you keep just easing in slowly but surely. And you just do it with your, you do it with your parents. Then your parents had kids, and you start assimilating your kids into it. Then their kids meet other kids, and then you talk to those parents to get, y'all start working your way in, and you get your kid a job and that kid a job, and you just start working your way in through these ballots and working together. I mean, it's just like you keep going. And then now when you want to win the next election, because remember, 2028 is the next presidential election. And if they got in, if he got in as mayor in New York, which is a big deal, and then there's two women that got in, Virginia and Jersey. And I'm pretty sure mentally they're all in cahoots, because as we saw earlier, the women who were talking earlier, they were like, my MAGA parents would probably be so upset right now. They're having a horrible day. Because for some reason, like, white kids and white children like are against their parents. I don't know what it is with the white families, but like, they will disown each other if one is a Republican and another one is a Democrat. Like, they are having a war amongst families right now. It's crazy. And again, like I said, I'm not fighting anybody. I'm trying to get you to understand, like, this is what's happening. This is how things are moving forward. You need to understand how to move forward and what's going on, because this is not something that just happened overnight. This has been going on for centuries. Decades, centuries, however I'm supposed to say it. Now, with that being said, since Mandami got put in, and like PBD said, a bunch of people are going to try to move to New York. I mean, a bunch of people or families are going to try to flee New York. Texas governor put his foot down. Shout out to him. And we in Texas, we've already had this problem. All these Californians, all these New Yorkers, like I'm in, like right now in Texas. I mean, in Austin, Texas, if you want a woman, you have your choices of women. These are the options you got. You can get a black one, a white one, a Ghana, a Nigerian, an Ethiopian, a Moroccan, you can get a Eritrean, you can get a Russian, Ukrainian, you can get a Chinese, Japanese, you can get a Korean, a Thai, you can get a Vietnamese, you can get a Brazilian, you can get a Colombian, a Venezuelan, you can get a Mexican, you can get a Dominican, you can get a Cuban, you can get a Guatemalan, a Honduran, you can get a Canadian, you can get an Australian, you can get a New Zealand. You can get any kind of like woman that you want here in Austin, Texas, bro. You can get anything. Like, you ain't got to. If people always talk about passport bros and getting women in different places, you don't got to leave to get that here. They are here. Austin, it's a melting pot here, and I'm saying that to say this: that we've already seen an influx of people come in over time and jack up the cost of living here. Like ridiculously. It's ridiculous. But now the mayor is saying that since Mandami has won and he's threatening about the refugees who are going to try to flee New York, let's hear what he has to say about refugees fleeing New York City. Here we go. Whoops. Here we go.
The red states are anticipating an influx of New Yorkers coming to their states, and the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, has threatened to slap a 100% tariff on any Mamdani refugees. He tweeted, "After the polls close tomorrow night, I will impose a 100% tariff on anyone moving to Texas from New York City." New York Post took this seriously. I'm sure he's joking. But states like Texas and Florida are going to be the beneficiaries of this exodus out of New York.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's just no doubt.
That's all I'm going to let her say. But joking or not joking, moving, all these people moving and migrating across states and all this stuff, and any refugees coming from New York all the way here, or people migrating and coming in and getting their citizenship in New York and be able to navigate freely in the United States, like, it's gonna cause a lot of problems. And I'm talking about the cost of living. I'm looking at the cost of living of things, and just it's gonna change and just the main thing is it's a crusade at the end of the day. That's all I see. All I see is a crusade. I see a holy war going on. That's all I see. Because that's what's been going on. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed at all. You can clearly see how this has been going on for centuries. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at how long this has been going on. I have a few things I want to look into. Where is this at? Let's go ahead and just take a look at the history of this fight between these people. Let's just go ahead and dive in all the way back to how long these people have been fighting. Let's see here. Where we have? There's him. Okay, I found you, but that's not what I'm looking for. They've been fighting for so freaking long. It's ridiculous at this point. It's to the point where it's like, okay, when does this stop? But it doesn't stop. They keep going and going and going and going. And then everybody ends up being a casualty of war in a war that they've been having forever. All right, let me find this out. Where is it at? I freaking had it. I don't know where it went. Of course, I can't find it whenever I'm supposed to find it. Oh, here's this right here. Nope. Where is it? Okay, there we go. History. We'll look at that right there. I had it earlier, but we'll look at it like this. History of Crusades. Here we go right here. All right, let's just take a look at this. We'll look at the history of this, because this is, I mean, this is practically it right here in a nutshell. Oh no, where did it go? Why do I have him up here? That doesn't make any sense. Why do I have him and not what I'm supposed to have up here? Okay, there's that. Nope, that's not who I'm looking for. Okay. Here we go once again, losing my spot. All right, we'll start here with this guy, even though this is not where I want to start, but we'll start here and we'll go down just a little bit. But this ain't where I want to start. I had the whole freaking timeline put up here on where I wanted to go, and of course it's gone. You know what? No, we're going to find it because it doesn't make sense for me to talk about it if I don't get to do it the right way. Let's see. History of Crusades. Oh, yes. This is what I meant to say. There we go. This should be it. Come on. Come on. Let's pull this up. All right, let's see. Where is it? So the history of these fools go back so far back. and they've been doing this for a extremely long time. And I had one that was literally, all right, this doesn't go back as far as I wanted to. I had one that went back further. I just don't know what the hell I did with it. It's freaking gone. Why the hell's my stuff always leaving? Whoops. Why does my stuff always keep leaving? Every single time I get something put up here, it disappears. This is getting frustrating. Unless I'm looking in the wrong spot. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. That's probably what it is. Where is it at? There's that. There's that. Let's check this. Is this it? Nope. 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 Nah. This ain't it. I had it up here. And it did, oh, wait. There it is. Chronologicals. Yeah, here it is. I found it. 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 Okay, here we go right here. So we'll start here. And we'll go, well, I guess this was it the whole time. All right, so we'll just start here and then we'll make our way down. So if we look at this right here, let me pull this up on my screen for you so you can see it. So if we look at this, right, we have the chronologicals or the chronologies of the Crusades. All right, so we have a crusade right here. It goes from 1095. All right, this is where it starts, but it goes back further than that. So here we go. So we have the history of the Crusades, right, from 1095 to 1187. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of history on what's going on, and then once you see this, this will actually make sense as to what you're seeing happen today. It makes perfect sense, and you're like wonder like, why the hell these fools keep fighting? Like, if y'all gonna fight, like do that shit somewhere else. Quit putting everybody in the middle of y'all's damn fight. The growth of Islam. The history of Crusades began with the advent of Christian pilgrimage. Now, I don't know how true this is as far as how far back it goes, you know, because of course you can always go further back and further back and further back, but this is about as far back as we can go for the sake of this conversation. The history of Crusades began with the advent of Christian pilgrimage to the Holy Land, combined with the rise of Islam and its subsequent conquest of Jerusalem. So in 326, Saint Helena, mother of Constantine the Great, travels to the Holy Land, and she returns with holy relics and begins a tradition of Christian pilgrimage. So you're saying it starts with her? Is that it? She returns with holy relics and begins a tradition of Christian pilgrimage? Are you serious? What are holy relics? Here we go. Religion. A relic is an object or article of religious significance from the past. This consists of physical remains, of personal effects, or a saint. Okay, cool. We get it. So then it says that after 334, the pilgrimage of Bordeaux writes of his journey to the Holy Land. November 636, the siege of Jerusalem begins as part of the Muslim conquest of the Levant. The city surrenders in 637, remaining under Muslim rule until 1099. I don't know if these are dates. I'm going to assume these are dates. 711, the Muslim conquest of Spain begins. Okay, so right here, we'll read this. The Muslim conquest of Iberian Peninsula, also known as the Arab conquest of Spain, was the Umayyad conquest of the Visigothic kingdom of Hispania in the early 8th century. The conquest resulted in the end of Christian rule in most of the Iberia and establishment of a Muslim, I would say, religion or whatever. So as you see, it's Christian. You know what I mean? Like you have the Christian rule was ended there. So this whole thing of them battling, it goes back. You know what I mean? It goes back to Christian versus, you know, the Muslim. Or, you know what? Let's just dive in. Let's just go ahead and dive in. Christian rule so the Muslim Arab Moorish ruled in that territory, which became known as this right here. All right. So basically, yeah. So then we go in further. Then we see there's more wars going on. We have the Charge Martel defeats the Moorish forces led by this guy at the Battle of Tours. And then we have these that defeated the Battle of Zeb, leading to the Abbasic Revolution. And the Abbasic Revolution, what caused that? It's the second of four major caliphates in the Islamic history by the third. Okay. So then in the Abbasic Caliphate assumes control of the Holy Land. Again, the Holy Land. So they're fighting over land and religion. But this whole Christian and Muslim thing just goes on and on and on. And we can just keep going back and back and back and back and finding that these two keep fighting. They just keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting over conquest and conquest and conquest. You just keep going. I mean, and the fight is all over the place because they start off in the old world, which at the beginning for them was Europe, Asia, and Africa. You know what I mean? That was the fight of the old world, which the Christians and the Muslims just keep going at each other's necks. You know what I mean? They're sitting here fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And they get all the way to a point where it gets to where we at. See, as you can see right here, they were fighting all the way to the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire, also known as the Holy of the Great Nation after 1512, was politically in Central Western Europe, usually held by the Holy Roman Emperor. It developed the early Middle Ages and lasted for a millennium until it dissolved in 1806. The Slavic revolt in 983. Let's see. The Ottoman ruled over the Slavic lands and rejected Christianization under Emperor Otto I. See, so it's still some kind of a holy war. Otto the Great. Where you at? Otto the Great is the eldest son. Okay, the Saint Albert of Prague. So right here, as you can see, that there's some kind of holy war that's going on. Constantly. There's always a constant battle of some kind of holy war going on. They constantly keep fighting over whatever it is. And then the Crusades keep going. After the loss of Jerusalem in 1187, right here, they lose Jerusalem, but it's still over some Christian versus Muslim, Muslim versus Christian, right? It just keeps going, and it doesn't stop. Commonly known as Saladin, was a Kurdish commander, political leader. He was the founder of this dynasty and the first sultan of both Egypt and Syria, an important figure of the Third Crusade. He superheaded the Muslim military effort against the Crusader states in, I can't say that word, Levant. At the height of his power, let's see, he had that issue going on. So they were fighting. And at some point, the Muslims and the Christians end up bumping heads again, but it's all over land and holy land and territory and religion and relics and holy land and territory. It just goes on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? All the way up until they get to this whole New World stuff. Then they come over to the Americas and they place Christian stuff over here, but there's people already over here with their beliefs and ideologies, and they're like, well, we finna just get that shit out of here and we finna do what we do, which is weird to see, because when you're sitting here and they're over here doing all these fightings over here in the old world, and then they go from the old world, which is this right here. Here is your old world. This is the old world. The old world is a term of Afro-Eurasia, coined by Europeans after 1493. They became aware of the existence of the Americas. It used to contrast the continents of Africa, Europe, and Asia, and the Eastern Hemisphere, previously thought of by the Europeans as compromising the entire world with the New World. The term newly encountered the lands of the Western Hemisphere, particularly the Americas. So they've been over there fighting for all these years, with holy wars, fighting over whoever God is the best God and blah, 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 blah. And it's even biblical, they're constantly fighting. And then, they come into this part right here, which we go into the New World, as you can see. You got the New World right here. They come into the New World, and we have a pretty good idea of how they came over here to the West in the New World. You got people like Columbus that discovered America, but people were already there. But Columbus was not that good of a guy. When you kind of dig into Columbus, you kind of realize that, dude was pretty damn grimy, is one of the nicest ways to say it. For example, let me give it. Can I find an example of Mr. Columbus? I think I can. Of Columbus, and it shows right here, nothing that results is achieved. Right here, like here's the ideology. And of course they say Columbus was, you have people saying Columbus was a good man, Columbus was a bad man, the lies you learned about Columbus was bad. Well, nothing that results in human progress is achieved with unanimous consent. Those that are enlightened before the others are condemned to pursue that light in spite of the others. Christopher Columbus. And as you can see, the slaughter of the natives, and the natives hiding behind the tree as this man plants his flag. And you see people out here, bloodshed all over the ground, bloodshed everywhere, you know what I mean? And raping and killing of all the men, women, and children. Now, as you see this, now this war has been going on forever. At the end of the day, it's still a holy war. That's what all of this predicates from. It predicates from just a holy war of people fighting. And when they come over to the Americas, they come over with a mindset that's kind of hard to ignore, because you can look at it in many different ways. They come over with this mindset. Like, look at the mindset that they have coming over to the Americas, dealing with the natives of the land. Let's take a look at the mindset that they have. Here we go.
The States government is offering you the United States government is offering you a piece of land of your own.
We have our own land.
No, it's not yours. It's the U.S. government's.
Did they buy it?
No.
Did they trade for it?
It's not like that.
Then how can they own it?
He has a point.
We will give you everything you need if you will just submit to living on a reservation.
We need nothing from you.
You can depend on your country to take care of you.
You are not my country.
Mr. Durant, if we could just... Senator Crane has come here to offer your people a better way of life.
Better than what?
Better than what you have.
I like what I have.
The United...
So you see the mindset that they come over here to the Americas. You know, you got Columbus slaughtering people. You got people talking about the U.S. government is giving you your land. But homie is like, who the hell gave you the land? You know what I mean? You came over here with that ideology of taking in pilgrimage and taking the land through force or corrosion or coercion, but force in this case. Now you see them do it their way. And then they say that, or he even said that, like this right here, you know, he even mentioned that them giving the land, he said, we'll give you everything that you need if you just submit to living on a reservation. Okay, let's take a look at what submission looks like. And when you say no, what does it look like when you say no? Because you have to understand, this is still all a holy war, regardless if it's the Muslim people or the Americans or Europeans, however you want to look at it. It's still a holy war. And they're believing they're doing things in a righteous claim, but at the end of the day, they're stealing land and resources. But if you just submit to living under us, okay, and if I don't submit to you, what does that look like? Well, let's take a look. We got a dude, an iconic dude, Mr. What is his name? How do I pronounce his name? Hatui. Yeah, Hatui. We're going to look at Hatui right now, and he's going to show it what it looks like when you don't submit. Let's go ahead and roll the footage, and let's see how they wave God in his face.
En el nombre de Cristo todavía puedes salvar tu alma. Aprender la diferencia entre el cielo y el infierno. Pedirle perdón al Señor. Yo te bautizaré y obtendrás la gloria y la paz eterna en el cielo. De lo contrario, sufrirás un tormento eterno en el infierno. ¿Me ha entendido bien?
¿Qué cristianos se lo man?
¿Van los cristianos al cielo? Los buenos cristianos, sí.
Cachaguaychis infierno, man.
Mándame al infierno.
¡Silencio! Esto es lo que os ocurrirá si desafiáis a los cristianos.
This will happen to you. This is what will happen if you defy the Christians. Now, this is what Hatui was. Hatui, where were you? You were Hatui right here. Hatui was a good Lord, Taino of the Hispaniola. He lived from the late 15 until the early 16. Chief Hatui, hopefully I said that right, and many of his tribesmen traveled from present-day Lagonave by canoe to Cuba to warn Taino in Cuba about the Spaniards that were arriving to conquer the island. He later attained legendary status for leading a group of natives in the fight against the invasion of the Spaniards, thus becoming one of the first fighters against Spanish colonialism in the New World. So they came in and just established a new world. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, this is the new world. And you know, if you pray for forgiveness before we burn you in front of your wife and kids, if you just, you know, ask for forgiveness from our God, you'll be forgiven and you'll go to heaven. And he said, well, hold on, are you Christians gonna be in heaven? The dude said, yeah, the good ones. He spit and was like, well, send me to hell. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. You came over to conquer our land. And again, a holy war, a crusade, going over to conquering lands. Now, let's change it up a little bit. This man is going to ask a woman a question. Listen to, now, this man is about to ask this woman a question, okay? The same way you saw these people, you know, where are we at? Right here. The same way you saw these people be very unrational in their reasoning. This is what will happen if you defy the Christians. And this right here, if you would just submit to living on a reservation, how unrational they speak with quote unquote Christian values. And don't get it twisted. There's always polar opposites when you talk about things. There's good Christians, there's bad Christians. There's good Muslims, there's bad Muslims. You know, there's polar opposites to everything. So I'm not putting this on everyone. However, I want you to look at it from this perspective. So then you have this woman here. This man is talking, and he's going to ask this woman a question about the Quran. And listen to what she says. And listen to how he responds to what she says. Here we go.
The Quran is not the word of Muhammad, it is the word of God.
Thank you. It's the word of God, that's right. But it was written by Muhammad.
It was not written by Muhammad.
Who wrote it?
Muhammad was illiterate. He didn't know how to write or read.
Who wrote it?
It was the word of God, it is the divine word.
You see? It's every single time. They're very consistent. I appreciate it. All right? It is the word of God. They're very passionate about it. I respect your passion. There's no way you can rationally have a conversation with that. The same way, if you ask me, why do you believe the Bible's the word of God? And I look you in the face and I say, because it's the word of God. Rational discourse is broken down.
The Quran is not the word of Muhammad, it is the word of God.
Thank you. It's the word of God, that's right. But it was written by Muhammad.
It was not written by Muhammad.
Who wrote it?
Muhammad was illiterate. He didn't know how to write or read.
Who wrote it?
It was the word of God, it is the divine word.
You see? It's every single time. They're very consistent. I appreciate it. All right? It is the word of God. They're very passionate about it. I respect your passion. There's no way you can rationally have a conversation with that.
There's no way you can rationally have a conversation with that. How about them? This is what will happen if you defy the Christians. and before, this is what you were saying to them. You will have glory and peace in eternal. You will have glory and eternal peace in heaven. Ask the Lord for forgiveness and I'll baptize you. Bruh, you came to my land to conquer me. How am I going to speak any rational thought into you? And you're over here spreading this religion and taking over land. Now, the way these people are irrational and hard to have a conversation with is the same thing that he just said about her. He's like, they're very consistent. They're all on one accord. They're consistent. They're all on one accord. It's almost like you can't help but just look at it from a historical point of view, and you can see the history of all the battles, all the wars, all the crusades, all the stuff that's been going on. And when you look at now and you see Mandami get in and he's coming in and he's slowly but surely, you can see it happening, you know, how they're going to get in through bullet or through ballot. It's just a historical war, a crusade that we're going. It's a crusade that we're going through. A historical crusade that we're going through. And they were fighting over there on the east. They found a way to infiltrate in on the west. And they made it clear that we have to go to the ballots because the sword ain't the way to go. It's the ballot box. So they're using the ballots to get in, and the war looks different now. However, regardless of how different the world looks, what they're going to impose at the end of the day is still going to be their law on top of everything else. They're still going to impose their law. Like, for sure. If you can come in and change the law and even have your people okay with changing the law. Let me give you a quick little idea. Right here. This guy says Muslims are required to implement Sharia law when they take power according to the according to the Quran, they spell it two different ways. Sharia law says non-Muslims are to be subjected. Sharia law makes women the property of men and child marriage is allowed with Muhammad's example. Let's see what this guy says. Let's hear the words out of his
Britain is Darul Haram because they are, anathema to God's law. They're not implementing it. They're violating His sanctity, and therefore this is war against Allah and His Messenger. We are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now, I hope that can come in a very peaceful way. I hope that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, if the Muslims have authority and they have the ability to remove oppression, they must remove the oppression. So we believe man-made law is oppression because they are implementing non-Islamic law, violating their own sanctity. So, if we are in a position of power and authority, we are obliged to take that authority, with the minimum force and to implement the Sharia, certainly. So, this will be the case one day in Britain.
And when you talk about jihad, you're not talking about spiritual striving. You're talking about military jihad.
No, I think there are two types of jihad in which people are engaging in today. One is the jihad of the word, and the other is jihad of the sword. So in Britain, we are engaged in the jihad of the word. And, it's as important to remove the ideological foundation and, if you like, the pillars of Western civilization, like democracy and freedom and secularism, and to expose them and to bring back people to worshipping the one true Lord, which is Allah, as much as it is important to remove the physical obstacles, which is the non-Islamic regime.
There was one very important thing he said in there I want to play back. Let's listen to it one more time. I'm not going to play it all the way through, but let's listen to one important thing he said that aligns with what we hear nonstop today. Just listen to what he's about to say. Listen one more time.
Britain is Darul Haram because they are...
Now, he's talking about Britain. We've already seen the people march through Britain. We've already seen them march through Britain. So he's talking about them bringing in Sharia law via Britain. But I'm talking about America. Listen to what he's about to say.
Anathema to God's law. They're not implementing it. They're violating His sanctity, and therefore this is war against Allah and His Messenger. We are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now, I hope that can...
We are obliged to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement Sharia law. Keep going.
come in a very peaceful way. I hope that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, if the Muslims have authority and they have the ability to remove oppression, they must remove the oppression.
If the Muslims have authority and the people are under oppression, the Muslims must remove the authority of the oppression. What do you hear women constantly talk about when it comes to the patriarchy in America? Women are oppressed. Women are always oppressed. We don't have rights to vote. We're constantly being oppressed. Men used to slap us and beat us in the kitchen and make us be barefoot and pregnant. And all this oppression. Well, he's clearly saying, well, if that's how y'all feel and we get into authority, we gonna deal with that oppression. Do you think the people that vote that in are gonna be like, yeah, get rid of this patriarchal oppression? They gonna be like, say less. They gonna be like, say less. They like, in Allah, that's what we gonna do. I'm glad you brought me over here to fix this. And by the way, those Christians over there, right? Them over there, they Christians? Yeah, we got a history with them fools back in the old world. Back on the west side, you know what I'm saying? We've been having beef for a minute. We done found y'all fools over here in these Americas now. Excuse me, back on the east side. We found y'all on the east side. We had some years with y'all. Y'all came over here to this new world, you know what I mean? Y'all started thriving. We couldn't help but see y'all on TV. We found a weakness. We here now, buddy. Now, ma'am, we understand that you're having issues with your patriarchal society. Now, once we get into a position of authority, which we will, and we get rid of the oppressor that you have, I just want you to know the way we handle things here, the way you talk and the way you dress, if we get any lip from you, it's going to be, so just, understand that you finna get down with the get down or get laid down. Or probably stoned. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. So he's basically saying it. And he's saying that in Britain, Mandami got in on Mayor's side, it's clear how they move. So you have to understand it. And that's what I want you to accept. You have to accept it. You have to see it for what it is. This is a long fight. They've been doing this for millenniums. They've been fighting for forever, for land and relics and resources and religion and authority and my God is better than yours. Christian is this, and then Allah is all that going on. And they've had fights forever. That, like they said earlier, like I showed you, one dude said the sword is the way to go, but we can't do the sword, so we figured out the ballots. We get them in the ballots. And then they found out how to get in the ballots. They did it. And then the women are upset about this oppression of a patriarchy. And I guess what they don't pay attention to is like, they don't play that shit when it comes to women. Like when you feel like here's an example. Here is an example of a history of women being transformed. All right, let's just take a look at how women were transformed whenever they got taken over by said regime. Okay, and again, this ain't me talking down. This is just me stating facts. Like this is what it is. Okay, so let's just take a look. All right, we got Iraqi women in 1970. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I can't play with the music, but there you go. 1970 to 2023. All right, 1950 Egyptians, 2023 Egyptians. 1970 Algerian women, 2023 Algerian women. 1973 Syrian women, 2023 Syrian women. 1970 Iranian women, 2023 Iranian women. 1958 Afghan women, 2023 Afghan women. Now, let's double check this just to make sure it's true, because I don't want to run around here spreading false lies. Let's see. Iraqi women 2025. Let's see how Iraqi women look in 2025. Well, that checks out. All right, let's keep going. Where is it? Let me put this right next to that one. Where is it? All right, so is this it? No, that's not it. I'm going to put them side by side so we can look at these together. All right, so here we go. Iraqi women, we're going to look at these together. Iraqi women, 1970, okay? Iraqi women, 2023. All right, so I went to Google, Iraqi women, 2025. All right, so it looks about like, except for like over here. I mean, but still, they got long sleeves. They got on long pants. Like, I'm just saying, like, this looks like it checks out. Long sleeve, long pants. All we see is fingers and face. That's it. Long sleeves. She got forearms showing. She might have got stoned shortly after that. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like it checks out. Okay? It looks like it checks out for sure. All right, cool. There's that one. All right. The next one was who? Egyptian women, 1950 to 2023. All right, let me go ahead and pull this one up real quick. Let's see. EGYP women, Egyptian women. Oh, what does Egyptian women look like? All right, so we have this one. Excuse me. All right, so Egyptian women. All right, so let's just take a look. I'll go ahead and pull it up. Egyptian women. All right, so we have this right here. This says Egyptian women. What does Egyptian women look like as we go? So as we see it, you see that there's a whole lot of, covering going on over here. There's coverings going on. You see some Egyptian women over here. They looking like, there's a couple of OnlyFans models, what it looks like. But for the most part, we're seeing the covering. Women's football in Egypt on the rise. All right. Egyptian women entrepreneurs. Okay, I don't know if all of these are the primary. 63% of Egyptian women entrepreneurs are the primary breadwinner. Okay. This one, I don't know if she's Egyptian or not, but as we can see, it seems like somewhat of the case. These women look a little bit more open than the past women. But as we see, what does an Egyptian woman look like? This is what we're seeing. Egyptian women of America. All right, so this is what we have right here. Okay, cool. Let's go back. All right, so that's Egyptian. Algerian women in 1970. Algerian women in 2023. All right, let's see. I go to Algerian women 2025. All right, what we got here? Where are we at? All right, let's go ahead and pull this up on the screen. All right, so this one, we got old school stuff. Let's see, Algerian women. All right, these women look they don't have very, 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 very recent photos of Algerian women. No, I don't see anything too recent. I mean, I see this right here, but then that could be me reaching for something. These shows Algerian women. These are stock photos after protests. Algerian women. So it seems like, she is Algerian, black and proud, but she put on the covering too. You know what I mean? So Algerian, Miss Planet Algeria 2025, covered all the way to her wrist. If she's Miss Planet, of course, she's not going to have the head covering on. But, these are sports women, so they're not going to have much of covering on. Okay, these are women right here in Nigeria, as you see how they're covered. Like expensive garms. All right, the real Algeria. So, yeah. All right, so it looks about like it checks out. All right, let's see. The curtain closes on an incredible, in Egypt. Okay, that's Egypt. An undeniable Algerian charm. Okay, so as we can see here as well. All right. Algerian women push for more rights at Berber soccer tournament in Middle East. Okay, so they want more rights. Okay, just never enough. All right, well, the American women will be in for a rude awakening. All right, cool. And then, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to show my face. Then we're gonna go back to who was next. This is Algerian women. All right, we're gonna go to Syrian women, 1973 to 2023. All right, Syrian women. Here we go. You're up next. Syrian women. All right. Well, this one seems easy. So Syrian women here, as we see, they're clearly covered up from neck to long. Everything. She's covered up. They're covered up. They're covered up. They're covered up. She's covered up. She's covered up. She's covered up. That family's covered up. These women are covered up. I mean, it's clear as day, but you know, American women are gonna, I mean, they're gonna be in a rude awakening, boy, whenever they can't do what they want to do. It's gonna be a problem. Iranian women in 1970, Iranian women in 2023. All right, let's see how the Iranian women looking today. Let's see. Iranian women 2025. Well, buddy, there we go. All right, Iranian women. Women, life, freedom in Iran. Women in Iran. Iran police. You can see people that just walking. Just the little girl's only one, you know, she's covered, but she's like the only one with the chain. Yeah. I don't know what this is. Protest in Iran. A women's fight for freedom in Iran. Everybody's cut. Well, yeah, they're still covered. You can still see they're covered from neck to ankle. Like they covered all the way. They covered. These women, they covered. New compulsory veiling law intensifies oppression of women and girls. They're covered from neck all the way down. Regardless of what they got on, they still covered. I mean, they covered. Iranian women. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, they're all covered up. Everybody's covered. All right, let's go back. We got what, one or two more. Let's see who we got next. And then we got Afghan women, 1958 to 2023. Afghan women. Let's see how we're looking. Afghan, AFGHAN. Afghan women 2025. Let's pull this bad boy up. Here we go. Afghan women here. Afghan women here. Afghan women here. Afghan women. Have Afghan women been forgotten? Stand with Afghan women. People, Afghan women. Afghan women. They fled Afghanistan together, and now they're graduating Cornelia Cornell University. Now, they're not in Afghanistan anymore, but they still cover up. It's still in them. They're like, shit, I want to take a chance. Afghan women. Today, Afghan is the only country in the world where girls over 12 are forbidden to learn. Afghan women. Afghan. I don't want to show that guy. Afghan. Like it's all here, buddy. It's all here. Even the military women, they got to wear the. Oh man, that's hot, man. That's too. Can't put that around their head. It's too damn hot. Yeah, that's what it is. You know. Like dude said, dude made it the clearest day. Where are you? Where are you at, sir? Where are you? I think I don't have you up no more, do I? Dang it. I don't have him up anymore. Oh, that sucks. I wish I still had him up. Can I find him? Oh, there he is. Oh, I got one more dude I want to talk about. So we have a reading rainbow. This guy right here, he speaks on Sharia law in New York City. And somebody says he's exactly right what he says, and he says this is pretty funny. Let's see what this guy has to say about Sharia law. All right, because we just heard what the other guy said about Sharia law and how they have to implement it once they get to a point of authority. If your country gives us authority in your country, then we got to lay down a law. I think that's fair. I don't want you to come over here and do that, but if you let me in your house and you want me to rule over you, you gonna follow my rules. That makes sense. Like, I don't see the wrong in that. But let's hear what this guy has to say. So he's talking about they need to bring Sharia law in. Let's see why he says that. Here we go.
I'm glad New York is turning to Sharia law because a lot of you wenches have been showing way too much ankle. Now walk with me. Yes, liberals, bring Sharia law over here. I'm glad I will never have to hear hood rattery music like Cardi B ever again. Haram, I like it like that. Y'all were scared of the patriarchy, and now you're a few years away from not being able to show your elbows. You get a burqa, you get a burqa, you get a burqa. And enjoy your DMV government-owned grocery stores, because that's exactly what y'all deserve. You thieving bandits stole so much that they started locking up the toothpaste and batteries. But under Sharia law, you're losing the hand upon which you stole. Bring in Sharia law, because a lot of you potheads have gotten confused about the meaning of getting stoned. And I'm sick of y'all protesting every time somebody ethnic gets held accountable for a crime. Yeah, y'all can march right off the building. It's like y'all thought that jihad was some sort of yoga retreat. Respect to the law, respect the law. I'm glad New York is turning to Sharia law because a lot of you...
All right, well, real quick.
And the nominees for Best Actress in a Groovy Nightclub Drama, Miss Wayman Harrington.
Now, let's just call a spade a spade. Now, he is right. He's right. But I don't think he realizes yet, but they probably gonna stone his ass too. Like, yeah, buddy, like you tired of women showing too much ankle, but as soon as they hear you talk, they gonna be like, yeah, buddy, they don't take too kind to same sexes going on that side of that. They don't take too kind to that either. So while the woman is getting stoned, you're probably getting beheaded. I'm just saying. I mean, it is what it is. Call a spade a spade. Like, yeah, you're probably gonna get beheaded while she gets stoned. So yeah, but he's right though. He's 100% right. Like, it is what it is. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention, just to understand the history of how far back this goes, and to understand that this is a crusade. We are in a straight crusade. We're literally in World War III, the crusade. This is exactly what we're in. I have to show you, because this goes far back. This goes way back. I mean, way, way, way back. I mean, from the old world to the new world. You got the old world, you got the Crusades all going on. I mean, you just go down the timeline and you'll see you've had, Christian stuff going on. Then you had the Muslims fighting the Christians, and they were fighting over there, and they were fighting in Europe and Northern Africa. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. You can see how far back this goes. They've been fighting for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, it hasn't stopped. They just been conquering and going all over places, bumping heads, fighting each other. Now they like, oh, you over here now. And they've been trying to find a way in for a long time, because the Americas have been, on said rule for a minute. You know what I mean? Look at these dates. 1189, 1099. Like, look at this. Look, the conquest of Jerusalem in 1099. It marked a successful end. What does it say? The siege of Jerusalem marked a successful end of the First Crusade, whose objective was the recovery of the city of Jerusalem and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre from Islamic control. The 5-week siege began on June 7, 1099, and was carried out by the Christian forces of Western Europe. Like, they've been fighting for a minute, bro. They've been fighting for a long time. Now they found their way over to the Americas. And now they looking at it, and now they looking at everybody the same way. They like, hey,
prepare the meat, so dumb.
Straight up, they like, we here now, and we got your women under control. We gonna get the kids first. We gonna bring them up to think a certain way, but we got them women hating you for sure with this patriarchy nonsense. We ain't got all of them. We just need a majority because we understand how your ballot works. You know, we was thinking with the sword. We figured it out though. We like, we can't fight them with the sword. We got to hit the ballots. The ballot takes time. We got time. And that's what they doing. We in a crusade, bruh. We are in a straight crusade, a modern day crusade. There is no other way to look at it. Like, and they did it with the UK, which is an economic powerhouse, and then they did it with New York, which is another economic powerhouse. Like, wow. I mean, if you didn't learn something today, I don't know what to tell you, because we went over a lot, and you should get a good understanding as to the way the world is going right now. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be, and always think about this too. I got to add this part. You take this crusade, right? And I got to go back to this dude. I have to use him one more time. You take this dude right here and take what he says. We're going to listen to him one more time before we end the show. This guy right here, Buddy right here, he makes it very clear. He makes it very, very, very clear. Okay? He says one thing too. Listen to what he says. Anathema to God's law. They're not implementing it. They're violating His sanctity, and therefore this is war against Allah and His Messenger. So he said that they're violating God's law. So this is war against Allah. We are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now I hope that can come in a very peaceful way. I hope that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if the Muslims have authority and they have the ability to remove oppression, they must remove the oppression. So we believe man-made law is oppression because they are implementing non-Islamic law, violating their own sanctity. So do they believe that Christian law is man-made law? And I'm going to assume from the history of battles that we just looked at, the answer is yes. But let's keep going. And looking at the verdict of the UK, I'm going to say the answer is yes. So, if we are in a position of power and authority, we are obliged to take that authority, with the minimum force and to implement the Sharia, certainly. So, this will be the case one day in Britain.
And when you talk about jihad, you're not talking about spiritual striving. You're talking about military jihad.
No, I think there are two types of jihad in which people are engaging in today. One is the jihad of the word, and the other is jihad of the sword. So in Britain, we are engaged in the jihad of the word. And, it's as important to remove the ideological foundation and, if you like, the pillars of Western civilization, like democracy and freedom and secularism, and to expose them and to bring back people to worshipping the one true Lord, which is Allah. And to bring back people to worship the one true Lord, which is Allah. And he straight up called the Western civilization secular, which I can't say he's wrong, but to bring people to worship the one true Lord, which is Allah. Now, I have to say this. If you take that mindset and you couple that with artificial intelligence, AI, you take that mindset and you're like, you need to worship this one true Lord, and you see how they do it. Either we're gonna do it by cooperation or with bloodshed. We don't want to do it with bloodshed, but if you don't cooperate, then that's your ass. To get you to come back to the one true Lord, couple this Sharia law with artificial intelligence, with AI. Couple it with AI. Think about that. Couple this with AI. Think about it. If you were to couple this with AI, what do you get? You finna have a strictly ran society that is basically spoken about in Revelations 13, is what it sounds like. Right?
let's go to it. Let's go to it. Let's go to it real quick. We ain't gonna waste too much time. Good Lord. All right, here we go. We want 13. No, we want 13. All right. It says right here. Right here. Right here. Now, I'm not speaking bad on the religion as to say that it's evil. But what I'm saying is this. If you couple it with AI, because like I said, anything can be used for good or bad. But if you couple it with AI and you place a non-reasoning entity applied to the Sharia law, it can get to this point. It can get to the point where if it was given the power to breathe the image of the first beast so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed, and also forced all people, great, small, rich, poor, free, and slave. And so they could not buy nor sell unless they had the mark. Now, when you go into a socialist society or a communist society, what do you run into? You run into government-ran grocery stores, government-ran businesses. And if you implement a digital ID like they have in the UK, pretty soon you're probably not going to be able to get into any of these government-ran businesses without a digital ID. And if they change the digital ID and say, okay, we no longer operate a digital ID, it is now a microchip. So therefore, your digital ID will not get you into the grocery store anymore. You have to use your microchip. I'm just saying, it goes hand in hand with it. Everything goes together. It's a holy war at the end of the day. It's a crusade that we're having right now. It's always been that way, but it's like more apparent than ever. It's a crusade. It's a serious battle, especially if you couple it with AI. It takes a whole new form. Well, it takes not a whole new form. It intensifies what it is. It intensifies it, because you take what he just said and then you program that into an artificial intelligence program, and you send it out, and that's it. It's a Rapski. Dunzo. Hopefully you learned something today, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it for today's show. I didn't get to the AI segment of the show, but I did want you to understand that the direction we are heading in is, since, the mayor from New York got in, I think it's just going to open up the gates for more stuff like this to go on. It is what it is. Don't cry, complain. You just have to accept life for what it is, because we are at an inflection point. We are at a point in life where we are turning in every angle whatsoever possible. We are turning in religion. We are turning in economics, and we are turning in political structure. So, with that being said, I gotta get up out of here. Hopefully you learned something today, man. I greatly appreciate y'all attending today's show. We will be back tomorrow with the next one. Until then, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Love y'all. Take care. Later. Peace.
Thank you for watching D. Elliott Fitness live stream. Goodbye.
Then buy the dream. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay. Been waiting on nigga and I'm from Texas. In the booth, playing beats. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay. My fame won't bitch, yeah, I know it's thing. I plug your bitch like a 6-string. Jordan with the bitches got 6 rings. Smoke till my bitch a split screen. The press for pain pills and sip lane. Riding dirty, but I'm extra clean. Lyrics nice, but I'm extra mean. All-star heavyweight like Wolverine. The bitch learns so she open me. I flip money like Clover G. Gang hustle like TIP. It's all baby like D.I.G. Acronym like KRT. The game on lock, and I got the key like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock, and I got the key like Jay-Z. Don't wake up nigga in Austin, Texas. In the booth, playing beats. The game on lock, and I got the key like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock, and I got the key like Jay-Z. Don't wake up nigga in Austin, Texas. In the booth, playing beats. Killing beats like RP, no hard shit with your artery. Cutting up, who sharp as me? Rolling up accordingly. Pulling hoes, no sorcery. Rapping like y'all forcing me. If I ain't right, then it's forgery. Nigga, something to the rock like a Flores beat. Lyrical monster on the Lord of Beats. Text nigga, my bitch Georgia Peach. Pimp tight nigga, I do more than cheat. Cold like D-Wade, I go to heat. Bitch, on my way, hit the short for reach. Money jumping like the nigga on the sneeze. Cut the bad James, get me on the beat. Bitch, I'm always winning like what's the beat? The game on lock, and I got the key like Jay.